Boulevard at Congress Avenue. And emergency vehicle still on the scene of a crash, Boca Rio Road at Glades Road. Spot something on the roads, call the traffic tip line, pound 250, keyword West Palm Traffic. I'm Ron Hersey.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate, not one based on anyone else. So if you drive safely, you could save money. Good to know. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today.
Hey, it's the Greek from Monroe's of Palm Beach, and this Thursday night, it's the international kickoff for the Palm Beach Boat Show. 7 to 10 in Legends Lounge. Monroe's is calling all captains, brokers, and employees to stop by for some beautiful ladies, great entertainment, and a great menu. An open bar from 7 to 10. It's Thursday night, March 21st. Make sure you stop in for Monroe's kickoff party for the Palm Beach International Boat Show. Monroe's of Palm Beach open 7 days a week till 5 a.m. Thursday night. Peace.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Embark on a journey through the most absurd moments of the human story with Ridiculous History, the podcast that explores the bizarre corners of human existence, like the evolution of the toilet, the story of Comic Sans, or the exploits of the notorious Aaron Burr.
Aaron Burr is like, one day, my life is going to be part of a musical.
However, though, he probably didn't necessarily at this point think that he was going to be the villain.
Listen to Ridiculous History on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, let's get out of here. With Audible, we could root for a lone astronaut as he tries to save Earth from disaster. Maybe go for a run with the founder of the world's biggest sneaker brand. We could get the tea on the real-life media mogul succession drama. Or find out what life is really like for an Oscar-winning actress. I mean, with Audible, we could go anywhere. There's more to imagine when we listen. Hear the latest audiobooks, podcasts, and originals at audible.com.
Recently, a new client called me and started by saying, "Mr. Morgan, I really need your help, but I'm just a nobody." Those words stunned me, and I immediately called him back. And we're now helping him and his family after a terrible accident. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Everybody who comes to our firm at their time of need is a somebody. I grew up poor, but my grandmother was like a queen to us. At Morgan & Morgan, our goal is to level the playing field for you and your family at your time of need. The insurance company has unlimited money and resources. You need a firm who can fight them toe-to-toe. For right at 30 years, we have fought them in courtrooms throughout America. Our results speak for themselves. And always remember this: everybody is a somebody, and nobody is a nobody. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about our firm, Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I have asthma. I'm at risk too.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Hey, it's the Greek for Jason Weiser, my attorney. Whether you were injured due to a car accident or a medical malpractice issue, a slip and fall, or any kind of injury due to a fault of another, their team can help you. Board-certified personal injury attorneys. They can help you determine the responsibility party and pursue the damages and justice you deserve. Contact them at 561-689-8180, 561-689-8180. No fees unless they win. Jason Weiser, my attorney for over 20 years.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 original stations, like 24/7 comedy.
They were really donut holes. The bag would be empty.
When you need to laugh, just open the free iHeartRadio app and search comedy.
Should we call someone? I'm like, no, that's his face.
iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
Here's what's happening with the weather on Real Radio.
From the Gordon & Partners Weather Center, have you been injured in a motor vehicle accident? Call 561-333-3333 or go to fortheinjured.com.
I'm meteorologist Lauren Oleski for CBS 12 News. Skies are going to stay mostly sunny to partly cloudy. As we go through the rest of our Thursday, temperatures are going to be near 80 degrees through the afternoon. That is close to average, though, for this time of the year. More clouds will begin moving in overnight. We're going to see more rainfall returning as we move into your Friday morning. And then some heavy downpours and storms are likely heading into Friday evening.
This report is sponsored by Jackson Hewitt. It matters who does your taxes.
Why are people saying "Hew yeah" to Jackson Hewitt? When you switch to Jackson Hewitt, they will beat what you paid last year on tax prep, even if you filed online. Proof of prior year payment required when filing. New clients only at participating locations through April 7th. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
Greek Trifecta is sponsored by Jason Weiser, attorney at law.
From the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
Have you been in an accident? Call Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Real Radio 92.1 is WZZR West Palm Beach, an iHeartRadio station.
Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good. Listening to the Penthouse. Now back to the Penthouse on Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7.
Yes, you are back in the Penthouse. Thank you so much for tuning in. Whether you've been with us from the get-go, 10 o'clock, or tuning in now, we so appreciate you. 101.7, 92.1, and of course on the absolutely free iHeartRadio app. This is Franny. Good morning to Jimmy.
Hello and good morning.
And we do not have Greek with us. He is on vacation. We'll have him back on Monday, but this has been a great week because we've had surprises in the studio, including this beautiful ray of sunshine. We have Megan here with us. Hi. What's going on? And the crowd goes wild.
Yeah.
The crowd goes wild.
It was wild 95.5 fans here.
Yes.
I miss my Real Radio family, though. I do. So this is fun.
It is. So if you're not familiar with Megan, she was on Real Radio, but now she does mornings on Wild 95.5 with Carmine. So you can always tune in to her. And if you want to check her out, speaking of, I heard that the Trifecta was brought to you by Jason Weiser. He also sponsors Real TV. That's realradio921.com. Click on Real TV, brought to you by Jason Weiser. That's Schuler, Weiser, Zoller, Overbeck, Baxter, attorneys at law. Thank you so very much. And Jimmy is showing his... Oh, who gave that to you? Was it Mary? Yeah, right? BJ? Mm-hmm. Is that what it was?
Yep. I have a cup, but Franny got this one for me.
Yeah. It's your Disney cup.
It is. Thank you.
It is. So make sure you guys check her out. Check us out. I got some text messages to get into, but let's first get into some Florida stories.
All right. And
Florida.
Florida.
Did you say
Florida?
I'm from Florida.
WTF.
What the Florida?
And just like that, look at that. Our numbers are going up in our stream.
Shocker.
They're like, I've had enough of Jimmy and Freddie. So there was a Florida man who has been cleared of murder. Now, it's a pretty crazy story that happened. Unfortunately, a woman did lose her life. It happened May 10th, 2023. deputies responded to a call regarding an unresponsive woman in a car, Leanne Drive. And they said the victim, the unresponsive woman in a car that's not her name, Leanne Drive, on Leanne Drive. The victim was 52-year-old Maria de los Angeles Polino, and she unfortunately was found dead inside the vehicle with 16 stab wounds. When you hear that's a crime of passion, they always say, right?
For sure. That's personal.
Yeah. So there was a guy named Yasnin Salvador who was arrested for the crime. However, detectives said forensic DNA, he's been in jail for almost a year now, and witness testimony have since implicated his roommates, Luis Alfredo. So he ended up being apprehended and now charged with murder, but this guy forever, and he kept on saying, it wasn't me. So finally, because of DNA, he has been exonerated and charges against him have been dropped. And so he is no longer considered a suspect. Now his roommate faces charges of first-degree murder. Next up in your What the Florida, this is weird. So Sue Edwards was on a 2-mile run getting her fitness in Southwest Florida, right? Good for you.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing on the next break, too, by the way.
Let's go, 2 miles.
2 miles.
If you make that in 8 minutes, I'll be very impressed.
I
Will you
won't
make it in time?
I won't make 2 yards.
So she's going like this 2-mile loop trail at Babcock Ranch when she was like eye to eye, like they were staring at each other. She spotted a gator, and at first she didn't think anything about it until she got a little bit closer. She said, when I got closer, she's like, I saw something in its mouth, and initially I thought it was a snake. She's like, when I got closer, she was like, it was another alligator. Yeah, so she had a few photos, and she continued on her run. She said she gave a heads up to other people on the trail that were walking their dogs, like, hey, be safe. She said as she continued her run around the loop, she figured she'd run into the alligator's feast one more time. And she said it was still there. The two shared a very chilling moment. She said, this time he looked at me and creeped me out. He sank back into the water with the smaller gator in his mouth. And she said, and I just kept on running.
So not only was this alligator a cannibal,
Yes.
but he's also a pervert.
He staring,
creeped her out.
Yeah, he was staring at her. And speaking of perverts, that's a good segue, Megan. Thank you for that. There are videos, shall I say plural, of women undressing at a Florida gym appeared on a porn site.
Oh.
How did that happen?
Not cool.
Nope.
Now, for research purposes,
Is that why?
what was this site?
So, don't be a creeper. Multiple Florida women unwittingly ended up on a porn site with someone who was recording video of them undressing at the gym. According to investigators, more than a dozen videos were discovered when Bay County Sheriff's Office followed up on a tip that happened in mid-February. So they said the investigation resulted in an arrest, thank goodness, of a 30-year-old man. And he has been charged with 13 felony counts of video voyeurism.
Assuming that somehow he snuck a camera into the changing room.
Absolutely. That's exactly what happened.
Who even let this weirdo in there?
Right? He probably worked there.
Oh, well.
That's right.
Yeah.
The videos capture different women in changing rooms at a workout gym. The videos appear to have been recorded by holding a device above the top of the wall, dividing, so it wasn't even hidden, dividing the male and female changing rooms.
Oh, all right.
The
That
women
is odd.
appeared
That's
to
kinda
be unaware of the
strange
recording.
setup,
That
huh?
is strange setup.
Yeah.
Typically, the gyms that I've been at, like they're on complete opposite sides of the building,
Yeah.
and these are right next to each other.
The walls go to the ceiling.
Yeah, they go. It's not like a bathroom stall. Yeah, so they did not reveal the name of the porn site, which is good because I'm sure people will be like,
yeah,
looking it up.
Yeah, that was
Did they-
actually a poorly executed
Yeah,
joke,
Jimmy.
too, really.
Did
But
Just kidding.
still along the lines for me. But.
It is.
Did they reveal the name of the gym? Do we know what gym
No,
it
it's in the
was?
Panhandle, so we don't have to worry about it.
Okay, so we are safe, but that is super disgusting.
It
and
is.
invasive.
Anything like that. I mean, you ladies, I can't even imagine even going to, whether it's a gym or a massage place or anything where you just don't know where there's a freaking camera
You just
anymore.
don't know.
There's a
Hotel
reason-
rooms, we've been talking about that a lot lately,
Airbnbs.
too. Like the different ways you can see if there's a camera around or like the two-way mirrors, things that you can do to make sure
Yeah.
that there's not. But it's amazing. These people are just disgusting.
I know. Now I feel like when I go to like a hotel room or an Airbnb, I have to have a checklist of all like the places I'm supposed to check for sketchy stuff. Like outlets, check.
Yeah. Even like
fire
the shower, like they say, where like the knob is, sometimes where that screw goes.
Yep.
They say, look, because it could be a camera in there instead.
What on
I know.
Criminals are so crafty. It's almost like
are.
you want to give it to them, but
Yeah.
no, it's bad.
Well, that's why I just say screw it and I give them a show instead. And then
Oh, wow.
finally here.
I didn't see that one coming.
And you're with the Florida. We have a conversation between strangers at a gas station in Flagler County turned violent when a man allegedly started stabbing and punching others. As a discussion turned to religion. Religion and politics. Just don't do it.
No.
Yes.
Because you see what happens. You get shanked.
Hunter Deathrow. That's a pretty fitting name. He's going to end up in death row. Yeah,
Wow.
thank you. 22-year-old from Palm Coast was arrested and charged with 2 counts of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon after this incident that unfolded at a Circle K. They said that it was around 10:30 at night. 2 men rode their bikes to the gas station.
Just trying to get their big gulp on.
That's it, where they encountered him sitting at a picnic bench. And then they started talking. After a few minutes, the topic changed to religion. That's when Deathrow grew upset, ignited a heated debate. And they said, according to the arrest affidavit, when one of the victims who said he practices Buddhism, Buddhism,
Okay.
Buddhism,
Yep, Buddhism.
cut off death row as he tried to speak of his religious views. And that's when he got infuriated. He said he punched one of the men several times and pulled out a knife and stabbed the other.
Question.
Yes.
Aren't Buddhists supposed to be like super peaceful?
But no, but death row is not the Buddhist guy.
Oh, it's the other
the
guy.
victim.
It's the other one, yeah.
Yes,
Oh, well,
the victim.
Maybe he should have taken up Buddhism.
Yeah. They said a former victim suffered a large contusion on his lower back and a bruise on his side, while the latter sustained multiple lacerations to his neck and back. Also, a deep puncture wound on his left side. They were both eventually transported to a local hospital. They said death row fled the scene, and they ended up.
Name.
No, death row, right? They described him, his appearance to deputies, and they ultimately found him at his house, and he was arrested. And that is here at the Florida.
Well, thank you very much for that, Miss Francis. Now, last segment, we were talking about the ways that you can see who's from Florida, right?
Yes.
And actually, that stemmed from another conversation of how other countries, people from other countries kind of weed out how they can see what an American is, right?
Mhm.
And when you mention that, so one of the things, I mean, obviously, everybody says it in every state, like, we have the worst drivers, we have the worst drivers, we have the worst drivers.
Yes.
And a lot of Floridians say that too. And we have a lot of transplants as well.
Right.
So we get all the other states' best drivers, right?
Yes.
So I saw this as a posted question, and I'll ask it between you two. And also, 47142 is our text line. I want to know your answer to this. Just start off that text with Real Radio. Who is the worst driver? The driver. The slowpoke who is always in the way, or especially getting onto like a major highway where they just won't use that on-ramp to get up to speed to merge in. Or the guy that's the speeder, the one weaving in and out of traffic that's always cutting you off. You know, that type
guy's
of thing.
a jerk, but the worst driver is a slowpoke.
Which one is worse? They're both bad. I mean, don't get me
Yes,
wrong, but
right.
I mean, you could easily say that as well. But which one is worse? And as somebody that drives 95 every single day, and you do too, right? You usually come in 95.
It's
sometimes
not that
the side
far.
roads.
I
But
do 95 every day.
not as much, but I notice it too, especially getting on when I get on 95. They just people won't get up to speed, and it's like you're trying to merge into at least 70-mile-an-hour traffic with people doing 35, 40 miles an hour, and it just creates a traffic jam. And then, of course, as somebody like I'm behind them, and that's what I do. I mean, if I'm in the lead, I'm doing 80 by the time I'm getting onto 95 because there's a really long on-ramp where I get on at Crosstown in Port St. Lucie. But sometimes you don't have that much. You can't always go. But we know that person that's out there, right? Or they're in the middle lane doing maybe 60, something like that. What's more annoying, that or the guy that is just weaving in and out? What's worse to you?
Ladies first, Franny. You answered this one.
Oh, I already.
Ladies first.
I think it's.
All right, that's another conversation we've got to get into in a minute.
According to the show yesterday, I had foreskin removed when I was a baby.
Yeah.
So 47142. You can
Aren't you glad you came, Megan?
You could answer the question too, but I go slow driver. I think that the fast weaver is an a-hole. Like I think that they're very annoying, but they are obviously a better driver because they know what they're doing. They got skills. The slow driver all day, every day will get more on my nerves.
Okay.
What about
Megan?
you?
I'm actually right there with you as well,
Yeah.
Franny, because I too tend to drive pretty fast. I think I've really become
So
accustomed.
you're that person.
She's that person.
You know what, though? I'm going to put the blame on somebody else. I'm going to blame my husband. My husband, Taylor, is a very good driver, but he's the type that's trying to get out of the way of the people who aren't driving the way that we want them to. So he is the weaver. He is doing what he calls shooting the gap, trying to just like get through.
Oh, I've never heard that term before. That's my husband too, but I've never heard that term.
Yeah, like he looks for an opportunity when he's driving to weave in and out and just like get away from all of the other drivers and the clutter so he can just kind of like go.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I think I've picked up some of his driving habits because, like you mentioned, Jimmy, getting on to an on-ramp is one of the most infuriating things to me.
Yeah.
I'm that person that's looking to see, like, can I get around them? Can I go over those double white lines and just beat
The
across?
solid white line, you can't.
Yes, I know it's illegal, but so is going under the speed limit or going too fast. So it's like, which one are we going to take?
And one of the consequences to that, and again, you know, we can joke a little bit about it too, but you know, on the serious side, when you're getting on and it's very slow, the people that are all backed up behind that person, they all start darting out into the middle and the fast lanes, and that's causing more havoc on the highway as well.
I
It
noticed.
can cause even other accidents
Right.
because they're frustrated because they just want to get up to speed.
Specifically, the off ramp or the on ramp on the Turnpike and Beeline. I think that's what it's
Beeline?
considered.
Okay. Mhm.
Yeah, it's
Oh, that
supposed to be a
one's
toll road. But right when all the time, it congests everybody. Like you notice it just stalls in traffic right there for some reason. It's because people don't know how to drive and how to get themselves hustle right there on the Turnpike.
And merge well. Too.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's another really bad one in the area, PGA and military. I have to take that way, leaving my chiropractor all the time in Gardens. And nobody wants to be in the far right lane because it's right there after the light. And they don't want to wait for the people who need to take a right on military. So everybody will be in the middle lane and then try to get over as fast as they can to the merge lane, and it cuts everybody else off. It creates this like crazy traffic jam. It's like, if we all just went the speed limit,
That's
we
it.
would
Let's
be
just
good.
go, right?
We'd be good.
No need for traffic unless there's an accident.
Get me all fired up, Jimmy.
Yep. How can you tell you're from Florida? You don't know how to merge. Signs of living in Florida, 47142. The land crabs in the holes in my yard. I guess that's how you know. We said, how can you live from Florida? You know someone is Floridian when they slow down for their exit on I-95. 4 miles before they get there. This is funny talking about this
another
before.
one. Yeah, there you go.
Also, giant black smoke coming from the upright exhaust pipes. Let's see here. Our girl Sarah B. Obvious, where I'm from, here in Nashville, even 24 hours later, I start to speak and people instantly ask me where I'm from because I don't have a Southern accent. We have another signs that you live in Florida. You can tell the guy's from Florida when he wears jeans with flip-flops. That's from Steve. Brett from Melbourne. Hello again, gang. The way you know we're from Florida, leave Christmas lights on the house all year. Fire and fire pit in August. We have more fireworks than anyone should have and light them at all hours of the night for weeks before and after Independence Day. Farmer tan lines, except on the butt crack. Money's on the dresser. And then we have worst driver. In my world, it's the speeding Jersey because I walk and take the bus. The speeder cuts off the bus, making them hard brake, and we don't get seatbelts. Oh, yeah, on the buses.
Right.
Or almost hits me, turning right because they aren't looking both ways or they just don't care. That's from our girl, Sarah B.
They are certainly both bad. I'm with you, ladies, though. I'm more into where I find it that the slower ones are a little bit more, at least with the speeders and the weavers, that type of thing. I can kind of anticipate what they're going to do because I know what they want. They just want to go fast, and I know that they want to come. So I will find my way over. Just let them go, right?
Yeah, the speeders.
And plus, they become the guinea pig now. So the Stadie's going to go look for him.
True.
Yeah.
Right? Or her, and not me. So it just
It's a her because it's Megan.
The speeders are just trying to get out of the way, okay?
Want to take a phone call, ladies?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, we got our good friend Pops checking in with the Penthouse. Hey, Pops, how you doing today, buddy?
Hi.
Hey, guys. Megan, it's good to hear your voice again, sweetie.
It's good to hear yours again, Pop.
You guys doing great. I love it.
We're trying. We're trying our best without G-Man.
You're putting smiles on my face daily, with or without G-Man. You guys are awesome. I love it.
Well, thank you. We love you, Pops.
Thanks, Pops. How you doing up there, buddy? You hanging in?
Doing fine, man. I'm just getting things straight around the house that I'm not going to be able to do when I have my surgery. So I figure I get all that taken care of. Got me some paper plates and all, so I don't have to do dishes.
There you go.
Just getting things ready, for a few months of downtime, considerably,
What'd you say? I'm so sorry. Is it your shoulder? What are you getting done?
Yeah, I got to have my rotator cuff done, worked on. And they told me it'd be about 6 weeks in a sling and 12 weeks therapy. I'm not going to do the therapy because, they want me to come 3 days a week for 12 weeks. I can't afford that kind of money.
That's a lot.
So it is asking a lot.
Yeah.
Myself.
Well, we hope for a speedy recovery then, even without the therapy.
Oh, I'm going to have therapy. I got the beach to go to.
Yeah, that's the right kind
and
of
your
therapy,
joint.
right? Yeah.
There you
The what?
go.
The what?
His joint.
Oh.
Not his shoulder.
Not that type of joint.
The fatties are rolled.
I know they are, and you still got one good hand. So
Pre-rolled.
Smart. That's called preparation.
Exactly.
He's a smart man.
Yep.
That's what friends are for, to roll my joint.
I got to get better friends.
Yeah. I like this,
Right?
the way he prefaces paper plates are all set for him.
Uh-huh.
You were talking about these daggone drivers, the slow ones. I'm going to tell you what, that's my biggest pet peeve is somebody driving 45 in a 55, 60 zone sitting in the left lane.
Yep.
And you got a mile of people behind them, and you can't get over because everybody's trying to go around them.
Is that illegal now? Or they're passing some kind of bill right in
Well,
Florida?
it is. There is a certain amount underneath the speed limit. If you go below
In the
that,
left
it
lane.
is considered impeding. And then we read, I want to say about 9 months ago or so, roughly, that apparently the Florida State Highway Patrol is going to start cracking down on it. I did see it once on the way in to work one day. Guy was doing about 65 in a small pickup truck in the passing lane. And,
because it's a passing lane only, the
boom,
left
boom.
lane. If you go
Yep.
under 65, I think you get a ticket.
Yep, he pulled him over. So, but other than that, I haven't seen too much of it. We usually see the creepers that are still out there.
Well, here in North Carolina, our troopers are the same way. If you're going way under the speed limit, they're going to stop you.
Good.
They give us 10. They give us 10 miles over the speed limit. Local sheriffs and highway patrol, they'll let you have 10. They won't give you 11, but they'll give you 10.
Yeah.
And
I heard the saying once, and I don't know if it's true. Maybe an officer can chime in on this, but I heard 9, you're fine. 10, you're mine.
Oh, really?
So I always keep that in mind. Like, oh, shoot, what am I going? If it's 9, I might be okay. If I hit 10,
okay.
On 95 or the turnpike,
Right.
I set my cruise control at 80. I'll drive right by troopers and they don't even look at me.
I got it.
That's what you say today, final words.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
exactly.
Knock on wood.
Now,
because
local's a little different, I think.
a,
Go ahead,
a
Megan,
state
I'm sorry.
trooper at one point, I was driving up to Orlando to go up to one of the theme parks, and he pulled me over. And he said, do you know how fast you were going? And I said, I know I was going over 70, but I didn't really think that I was speeding. And that was the wrong answer because he was like, you came up to my bumper and I know I was going 80, so you had to be getting close to 80. He didn't even actually clock me and still gave me a ticket for presumably speeding.
Right.
well, it's funny though. People just when they get behind the wheel, they got no common sense.
Well, there's
They
that
become
too.
dumber than a box of rocks. They really do. I mean, a friend of mine was visiting one day, and we're rolling down the road, got my cruise control set at 65. I passed 2 state troopers and a deputy sheriff, and he said, man, you going to get a ticket? I said, no, I'm not. They're not going to bother me. But now up in Virginia, up near Williamsburg, they post a sign that says, we'll let you do 80, but you're not going to do 81.
All right, so you can go 10. You can go 10 over.
Similar to what Megan
almost.
just said, yeah.
Yeah, so 10, you're fine. 11, you're mine.
Yes, exactly. Doesn't rhyme as well, but
Not quite.
I still think it depends on the trooper, right?
It does.
I had a trooper pull me over for a seatbelt violation. This was years and years ago, not long after I moved here. And we got to chit-chatting a little bit, and just
he's like, are you Jimmy from Real Radio?
Yeah, that was the guy. I was before I was even in radio. And again, it was a seatbelt that he pulled me over for. And we just got talking, and he goes, I don't even bother pulling anybody over until they're doing 90. I mean, that was just his personal take on things, right? And then I thought to myself, that's great, but you pulled me over for a stupid seatbelt violation. You got time for that, pal?
He likes those paperwork.
Yeah,
He's
well,
like, these ones are more fun.
It's an easy one, yeah.
Well, when I lived, you were talking about fireworks. When I lived, my wife and I lived in Florida. We lived on Sandia Drive there in Port St. Lucie.
Oh, I know where we were.
Yeah. In fact, we lived right down the road from that new crosstown bridge they built. They were working on that when we moved. And, the fireworks were great. We'd go out front, and there was fireworks for at least 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
And good ones.
They do them up.
The cheap ones. And they do the same thing down here on the river. There's a guy that goes out every year and spends about $3,000 for about a 30-minute fireworks display over the river.
That's nice. Well, one day we need to come visit you in the North Carolina, Pops.
Yeah,
right?
really. That's for sure.
Yeah. Oh, you guys are always welcome at my house. The grill will be going.
Smoker.
Liquor will be flowing.
Yes.
Weed will be smoking.
I meant like the smoked meat, but...
What?
But I mean, that's just the way I am. I mean, I like to have fun. I enjoy barbecuing. I enjoy letting people come over and just relax and have fun. Throw horseshoes, shoot the crossbow. I've got that dialed in right good right now. I just got me a new one. Never used one. Never owned one before, and I love it.
Nice. Well, one day we'll do a field trip out there, Pops.
About that 4 p.m. I can be there about 4 p.m. Pops.
All right.
Sound good?
That's fine. Yeah.
You're awesome, Pops. Thank you so much for giving us a call.
Pops.
Good to hear from you. And when is your surgery?
It's going to be a week from tomorrow.
A week from tomorrow.
All right. Well, give us a call before you go in.
Yep.
Yeah. Good luck with all that. Good to talk to you, Pops.
It's good to talk to y'all. And Megan, like I said, sweetie, it's so good to hear your voice again.
Aw, thank you.
I do. I really do. You got that kind of voice. I bet your eyes are just what I call angel eyes.
Oh, they are angel eyes. You're right.
It can mesmerize a person. Well, guys, y'all have a great day. Be safe out on 95 because the idiots are there.
Okay,
Yeah,
you
thank
too.
you.
All right, Pops. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks for
a lot,
calling.
bud. Take care, Pops.
It is the Penthouse. We will be back with a trifecta and so much more coming your way on Real Radio 92.1.
Real Radio is the news junkie.
They're trying to get rid of hotel bathtubs, and I just can't stand for it.
You know what? I'm glad I didn't take your side.
Sealand, you've used a hotel bathtub before. I've seen it. Wait.
The News Junkie. Weekday afternoons at 3 on Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7. Let's see what's up with traffic on Real Radio.
Downed power lines causing delays near the intersection of North Lake Boulevard at Congress Avenue. And emergency vehicles still on the scene of a crash, Boca Rio Road at Glades Road. Spot something on the roads, call the traffic tip line, pound 250, keyword West Palm Traffic. I'm Ron Hurst.
This report is sponsored by Fuse Specialty Appliance.
The Fuse Specialty Appliances Spring Clearance Sale Event is Saturday, March 23rd at the Deerfield Warehouse just off 95 and Hillsborough Boulevard. Up to 70% off premium appliances. Shop online now for the same incredible discounts. Visit FuseSpecialtyAppliances.com for more information.
Hey, it's a Greek. When I like something, I don't change. I like brunettes for a long time. I'm wearing Armani since I'm 12, and I'm a Yankee fan. And I found my favorite cigar, and it's Vega Fina. Take it from your boy. I love the way it smokes, and I enjoy it after a tough day. You know my life's tough. It's Vega Fina. If I don't know who to bet in a game, I go with a Vega Fina. It clears my mind. And at the track, I love winning on long shots and smoking a Vega Fina. Vega Finas can be purchased at Casa Monte Cristo and Boca Raton. Puff, puff, baby. Peace.
In Florida, hurricanes are a part of life. That's why over 100,000 Floridians have made Storm Smart a part of theirs. Our Category 5 storm catcher screens, shutters, and high-impact windows are designed to help protect your home from hurricane winds, rain, and airborne debris. In fact, Storm Smart can protect every opening in your home. If you live in Florida, extreme weather is a part of life. But for year-round storm protection, you can count on Storm Smart. Call 866-61-SMART today for your free in-home consultation.
Get ready for the Twist Competition. March 22nd at Hop Life in Port St. Lucie. Hop Life's The Twist Competition starts at 8:30 and last person standing wins. Dress in your best 50s attire for a chance to win the Best Dressed contest. The Hop Life PSL online at hoplife.com.
If you're the victim of a car crash, never rush to settle with the insurance companies and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anna Jar Levine. Call 1-800-747-FREE for a free consultation and take back control of your life. In office, West Palm Beach.
Hey, it's a Greek. How you picture your retirement should match your plan and your vision. Call the local trusty people at Trajan Wealth today. 561-390-1000, 561-390-1000. In life, you never know what's going to happen, but when you retire, you want to have a plan and a picture in your mind that you can say, hey, this is what I thought it was going to be, and it turns out that way. And that's because you call Trajan Wealth at 561-390-1000, 561-390-1000. They have offices on West Palm Beach, right in our backyard. Go in there and figure out something and tell them what you have a vision of your retirement. And they'll make sure they have a plan there that'll match your vision, and then you can retire and enjoy South Florida. That's beaches and that's golf. And that's all the things that you deserve because you worked hard. Call them today at 561-390-1000, 561-390-1000. Trajan Wealth. Pace. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisor, paid advertisement.
Embark on a journey through the most absurd moments of the human story with Ridiculous History, the podcast that explores the bizarre corners of human existence, like the evolution of the toilet, the story of Comic Sans, or the exploits of the notorious Aaron Burr.
Aaron Burr is like, one day, my life is going to be part of a musical.
However, though, he probably didn't necessarily at this point think that he was going to be the villain.
Listen to Ridiculous History on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I have asthma. I'm at risk, too.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Hey, it's the Greek. What do guys do when they get together? Maybe they're hanging out, playing golf, talking about their favorite team, talking about their family, their kids, but there are a few things men should really talk about, much more intimate issues. I know it's not easy to talk about, but there's a place to go where they'll be happy to listen. Simply Men's Health. Right now, you can get one of their free ED treatments from Simply Men's Health when you call 561-459-5356. Simply Men's Health. They can make you feel young again and make you a rock star you were when you were young. Peace.
Why are people saying Hugh yeah to Jackson Hewitt? When you switch to Jackson Hewitt, they will beat what you paid last year on tax prep, even if you filed online. Proof of prior year payment required when filing. New clients only at participating locations through April 7th. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
For more information about contests on the station, visit realradio921.com/rules.
Injured? Call Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather at 500-HELP. Help is just a local phone call away.
Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network, presented by DraftKings Fantasy.
The Heat with an impressive win. Jimmy Butler scoring 30, and they got 2 clutch threes from Terry Rozier down the stretch to beat Cleveland. The NCAA tournament is in the spotlight today. 16 first-round games on tap. The 3 Florida teams in the field all play tomorrow. That includes FAU, who meet Northwestern. And reports out that the Dolphins are among the teams interested in signing free agent wideout Odell Beckham Jr. I'm Matt McCoy.
Check out what DraftKings has to offer this season with code SPORTS, because life's more fun when you're in on the action. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details.
The Lombardi may have been lifted, but that doesn't mean there's no football to talk about. It's the offseason, and there's no better way to stay up to date with the latest from our league than with the Around the NFL podcast for news and fresh content all offseason long. From the start of free agency, where we'll break down familiar faces headed to new places, to the next generation of superstars walking across that stage at the NFL Draft. Listen to the Around the NFL podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts. Heed the call.
Presented by T-Mobile for Business. Now is the time for 5G business.
You're listening to Real Radio 92.1, and we are an iHeartRadio station.
Hello, Jimmy. It's me, Helga, your Russian dominatrix. You don't want me to start calling in when you're at work now? Okay. I want you to take your cup of soup and pour it all over your head and say, I'm your dirty little boy. Maybe if you're a good boy today, I let you use banana on our camp show. For 100 more euro, I let Greek watch this time. Have a good day, my little bushi.
You're listening to The Penthouse. Now back to The Penthouse on Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7.
Damn it!
I'm looking.
Not now.
I don't see the soup on your head, Jimmy.
Yeah, I've got so many questions.
Well, that was supposed to be his private line, but instead they used our TalkBack feature, which you can use. iHeartRadio app. Just make sure you download that. Search for Real Radio at 921. Click on the microphone icon. And just like Hilga.
Damn it, Helga.
Yep. You can leave
Not
us
here.
a message. Hey, what's going on? Good morning. This is Franny. Hi, Jimmy.
Hello and good morning.
And we got a special guest in the house, Megan. Hi.
Hi, Franny. Thanks for singing my name.
Yeah, no problem. If you're not familiar with Megan, well, shame on you. She used to be on Real Radio. We used to do Pillow Talk podcast. And now she's on Mornings on Wild 95.5 with Carmine. Carmine and Megan in the morning.
Yay. But thanks for being here on Real Radio. Thanks for having me, guys.
Of course. And you can participate always. 47142. That is the text line. Like, wow, Megan, driving on the highway head to Orlando for a theme park. What a rare occurrence. I think there was a little sarcasm there.
There was, yeah.
I think so, too. And we have that toll-free number, 877-927-6969. But let's get into a trifecta.
Riders up. It's Creek's Trifecta.
We'll make it quick because Aaron's on hold and he wants to talk to us about some traffic stuff that he knows about. All right, so let's get through this really quick. Here we go again. NFL trying to fix a problem that may not be there. I guess that's my opinion anyway. The NFL's competition committee proposed a revamped kickoff for next season. And basically what it would be is the kicker would still be on the 35-yard line like they are now. And the 10 other players and, of course, the opposing team would line up on their 40-yard line. So there'd be a big difference. They wouldn't be able to move. Only the kicker could move and the receiver per se. Just again for brevity, we'll put it that way. So anyway, they're just trying to come up with other ways to keep the teams from running, getting a head start, and then hitting each other. So we'll see what happens when they get done with that meeting in the competition committee. Going over to the hardwood, Grambling State erased a 14-point deficit in the second half to defeat Montana State 88-81 in overtime last night. The Tigers advanced to the Midwest region and will face number 1 seed Purdue in Friday in Indianapolis for the March Madness, which is starting today, right? Today's Thursday. Yeah.
I forgot to fill out my bracket.
You
Is
did?
it too late?
Still got some time.
Is
I
it
don't
too
think.
late?
Yeah, we
All
haven't
right.
tipped off yet.
All right, I'll just guess.
Also, last night, Colorado dominated the few final minutes against Boise State, winning 60-53. And Colorado will advance in the South region, and they'll face number 7 Florida tomorrow, also in Indianapolis. And going over to where they get paid to play the game, Terry Rozier scored 9 points in the final minute and a half, lifting the Miami Heat to a 107-104 victory over the Cavaliers in Cleveland. Next up, the Heat take on the Pelicans tomorrow night at the Kaseya Center. And that is this hour's Greeks Trifecta.
So you said we got Aaron on the line?
We do. We have Aaron on the line. He was on hold. Now we got him on the air. Aaron, you got some info on us on traffic laws?
What's up, Aaron?
Yeah, hey, gang, you started talking about driving 95, and oh, my goodness, that's my jam because I drive for work. I drive about 1,000 miles a week, And let me tell you, people aren't getting any better. Who's the worst driver? It's taken me a while to come to this point, but it's the driver who recently arrived here and does not have a family or cultural background in driving. For example, their parents didn't have a car, their grandparents didn't have a car. Maybe there was only
How do you know who that is? How do you seek that out? That's very specific.
Citizens arrest. He pulls them over. He asks. He surveys them.
That is very specific, Aaron.
So you're talking about somebody like from New York City that didn't drive before, that took cabs everywhere?
No. These are proud people that come from countries generally south of us.
Okay.
Who don't have that background of never borrowed uncle's car, never backed the car down the driveway, etc. So for, no real important reason, they just don't have that cultural experience of right-of-ways and four-way stops and yields and all these other things that we all take for granted because we were born and raised with them. So there's that part. Then there was a speed limit thing that somebody was trying to get into. Here's the thing. Florida specific, you're not speeding until you're 5 over. If you're 4 over,
Yeah, I've heard
you're not technically over. So somebody said 10 earlier. That's going to get you in trouble. Now, there's been a couple laws lately. Last year, they passed the first responder respect law.
Yep.
So that's anything in the left-hand shoulder or right-hand shoulder that's emergency vehicle of any flavor, fire, police, the road ranger guy. Basically, you see sirens on the shoulder, get out of that lane that's up against the shoulder. That's the law that passed. Now, the new one that just made its way through the House, I believe DeSantis has the final on his desk. That is for left lane campers.
Yes.
And it's not speed specific. You can do
passing
60 and a 70 if nobody's there. If it's 4 a.m. and you're on 95 and nobody's around, hey, you can do 50. They won't pull you over because they don't care.
Okay.
But once people start stacking up behind you, and I believe it's 4 or 5 cars, or maybe they let it up to the trooper. But the idea is once you start a log jam behind you, you're the guy. So they're going to pull you over. It's going to be about $250 ticket. And studies have shown that person causes more accidents than the fast and furious, I've got to change lanes and be a maniac, because somebody said it earlier, I think Megan said it earlier, when they get jammed up, they dart out and they make risky maneuvers. And those are the things that cause the accidents. Mr. Fast and Furious, annoying as he is, kind of predictable. We kind of know where he's going to go. But these logjam people who
I would
no S word, but thank you for the information. You are a professional driver, so
I would agree with that,
Yes.
Aaron.
Yeah.
A lot of those things I agree with. Well, thank you very much for the phone call. And speaking of phone calls,
Yes.
now's when you want to pick up that phone
time.
and make that phone call. 877-927-6969. We want to send you to Tortuga Music Festival.
Whoop, whoop.
We have a pair of one-day passes running April 5th through the 7th on the beach in downtown Fort Lauderdale. Oh, Jason Aldean, Lainey Wilson, Boys to Men, just a couple of the acts that are going to be there all weekend long. Give us a call right now, 877-927-6969, 877-927-6969. We're going to play a little game called He Said, She Said. Megan, have you ever heard us play this game?
I don't know that I have. I'm excited.
All right. Well, it's very simple. I'm going to read a quote to the contestant, and they have to tell us, did Greek say it, did Franny say it, or did I, Jimmy, say it?
Ooh.
And, of course, I've got the audio to back it up. So that's how we play He Said, She Said here, and I see the phone lines are already blowing up, so I'm going to get some people lined up. So if you ladies want to chit-chat for a second,
amongst ourselves.
I'll be right back.
I don't know if
and
we
we'll
know how to do
get
that
going
together.
with this
Yeah, we've never done that.
No.
Oh, and did you say Marco today? Boy, did he look terrible. I'll be right back, ladies.
Oh, no, of course. Those phone lines are blowing up. And speaking of things that we're doing, we have our tastings event coming back.
Oh, yeah, we
Yes.
do. April
There you go.
13th, Tanger Outlets, Palm Beach. It is a super fun event, and the key word here is unlimited.
Yes, unlimited food, unlimited wine, unlimited craft beer. We're even going to have some distilleries. We're going to have spirits there, like Knox and Dunn, Florida Rum, Everglades Distillery, House of Wine, Beer and Spirits. If you like some brews, we got Hop Life Brewing. And then the restaurants, I think, are better than ever.
Yeah, Talkin' Tacos this year. Of course, our friends at Buffalo Wild Wings, Rita's Italian Ice, the Cooper City Cellar Wine Bar and Grill. I mean, we have over 20-some different restaurants that love to be a part of this. And the best part, too, Franny, is that you save a little money in advance by getting your ticket online. Yeah.
It's pbtastings.com. Make sure you get your tickets. And not just that, you're going to have unlimited samples of all this goodness, but you also get to hang out with some of your favorites and not so favorites from iHeartRadio. The whole family is going to be there.
Right.
So make sure that you check that out. Now, I was just for like blinks and giggles because Megan and I back in the day, we used to do a podcast. It's still there. So if you have the iHeartRadio app and you're just like, I want to get into it and see if it's Pillow Talk with Franny and Megan, they're still running it. And you can be like, man, they let go of such a good thing.
Yeah, in our opinion, best podcast out there.
I agree. We should have been nominated for the iHeartRadio Podcast Awards.
Yeah.
But instead, the Kelsey Brothers won. Whatever it is. It is what it is.
Overrated. No, they're great. They're great.
I kid, yeah. They got Podcast of the Year. But there's so many cool things. iHeartRadio, make sure you download it. Not only can you go back and listen to the Penthouse, but you can also catch Pillow Talk with Franny and Megan, which we might bring back. You never know. We're just going to have you pay for it this time around.
We really want to do it right, and we want to just sit in one of our bedrooms and open a bottle of wine. So that's how I think we're going to go about it.
It is. Pillow Talk, maybe like sit around in our like negligees. You never know.
You just never, with us, you don't, because we might not change out of them.
We're talking about OnlyFans.
You want me to run around in my lingerie again? Is that what you were saying?
Yes.
Talking about? That's
You're
what I
part
thought.
of it. You're part of it. Are we ready to give away a pair of one-day passes to Tortuga?
We certainly are, and our good friend Sandra is checking in with the Penthouse because she wants to go to Tortuga. Sandra, how you doing today?
Hi.
I'm good. Hey.
Hi, Sandra. Let's get you some tickets to Tortuga. You've been before, right, Sandra?
I've never been.
Oh, all right. We want you to go.
Yeah, Sandra tried to win the other day,
You're
and unfortunately she didn't guess correctly, but maybe she can win today. We have a pair of one-day passes here ready for you, Sandra. I'm going to read you a quote. All you got to do is tell us, did Greek say it, did Franny say it, or did I, Jimmy, say it, okay?
Okay.
All right, here is your quote. I like mine stuffed with anything. I like mine stuffed with anything.
I want to play.
Did Greek say that? Did Franny say that? Or did I, Jimmy, say that?
I like mine stuffed with anything. I'm going to go with Jimmy.
Son of a gun, Sandra. I wanted it for you.
Darn, I do too. I really
wanted it.
wanted
Was
her
it
to
me?
win. Yeah, it was. Matter of fact, and that was.
I like mine stuffed with
Another popular
anything,
one.
to be honest with you.
To be honest with you,
I think
yes.
it was
That was
food
from-
related, obviously.
Yesterday we were talking about raviolis.
Oh, yes, I do.
That was it.
I do like my ravioli stuffed with
I
anything.
do like my ravioli stuffed with anything, too, so we can share.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, I think I posed that as, do you like your stuff with meat?
Yes,
I
you
believe
did.
that's how I presented
You did, and I know what you were
Sandra,
doing.
I am so sorry.
Sorry, Sandra. Call us tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.
All right, take care. Next up, we have Kip on the line. Kip, welcome to the Penthouse. How you doing today, buddy?
Hi, Kip.
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
All right, Kip. Have you been to Tortuga Music Festival?
Nope, but I used to work right by it, and oh man, I could hear that joint.
It is such a good time.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for this year.
So let's get you there.
Yeah, let's see if we can get you onto the sand and you can actually be in front of the bands and have a good time. I'm going to read you a quote, Kip. All you got to do is tell us, did Greek say it, did Franny say it, or did I say it? And here is your quote. Give me something hard. Give me something hard. Did Greek say that? Did Franny say that? Or did I, Jimmy, say that?
I'm leaning towards Franny.
Oh, and unfortunately, that one was...
Give me something hard.
That was Mr. Greek.
Yes, he likes the hard stuff. Sorry, Kip.
Yep, he does.
Dang it, Greek.
Sorry about that,
He's
Kip.
not even here, and he's like, dang you.
Damn it.
Cursing him. He's not even here.
Next up, we have Kyle on the line. Kyle, how you doing today, pal?
Hi, Kyle.
Hey, guys. Love the show.
Oh, thanks, Kyle. You been to Tortuga?
Never.
All right. A bunch of virgins here. All right. I feel good about this.
Never been. This
I feel
is great.
good about you, Kyle. Let's get it.
Awesome opportunity to get you there. All right, we got a pair of one-day passes. Kyle, just tell us who said this. But I don't twist and pull. But I don't twist and pull. Did Greek say that? Did Franny say that? Or did Jimmy, say that?
Oh, man. That sounds like you, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Damn right. And it doesn't make sense
No,
either
you
because
just
I
pull?
certainly do twist and pull, but I don't twist and pull.
No?
Yep, there it is. All right, there's the evidence that it was said. Kyle, great job. Now, if you would hang tight for a couple minutes, when we go to break, I'm going to get back on the line with you off air, and we'll get you set up with those tickets. Okay, pal? Hang tight.
Let's go.
I love
Go to
it.
break. Go to break, Franny.
Yeah,
Go to break.
congratulations. And if you're like, dang it, Sandra, Kip, people holding online who didn't get to make it online, go to realradio921.com. I say it all the time. Go to the contest page. You don't realize how great your odds are because people are like, oh, I'm not going to win. Go register for that. Register for everything there because you can.
Why not?
Yep. And maybe you might score some tickets to the Tortuga Music Festival. So I did want to get into this, and Megan, like during the break, was like, would you work out naked? And I'm like, no. They have naked yoga in New York. Like, when you're working out, and there's mirrors everywhere, I don't know if you want to watch yourself working out naked.
There's no way.
You could have the best body in the world like these people do, and I still don't think it would be that comfortable.
It's
but
not very flattering.
the
Positions,
lighting
right?
too in the positions, and
yeah.
sometimes that fluorescent lighting just does not the wrong angle.
No, thank you.
No, it's not. But there is people who are very unashamed about going to the gym naked. They said that they make it triple extra spicy by pumping iron in the nude.
I'm sorry, pumping what?
You heard me. I said iron.
Iron. Okay,
yes,
like as in weights.
Yes.
Okay,
weights,
thank you.
yes,
All
yes.
right, just making sure we
Yes.
we're on the same page here.
They
me and
say
you.
it's a form of intimacy, the two of them, that goes beyond the norm. And they have a billboard preaching free love that's right now in Times Square. So Bella and Wagner aren't afraid to flaunt their unconventional lifestyle, and they've been sharing videos on their Instagram showing this kinky couple engaging in every workout from bicep curls to treadmill running. God, could you imagine running in a treadmill naked? That sounds terrible.
That sounds horrible. You'd have to definitely
Boobs.
hold the girl because that's going to get weird and uncomfy fast.
And the boys.
Sorry, I
And the boys.
Hey, it's very similar, I would imagine.
True.
Floppa, floppa, floppa,
Yeah,
floppa.
it dangles.
Dangles.
And they said that the pair is committed to the life that they reserve their gym so they can do the workout in peace. So they go to a public workout, but they just reserve hours. I don't know if they probably have to pay some good money.
Oh, I would imagine.
Yep.
Some good what?
Money. They said
Okay.
exercising naked burns more calories.
How? Because
Yeah,
I feel
I
like
ain't buying that.
like layers would make you sweat more or something, and then wouldn't you
You
burn
would
more calories?
think,
Yeah, it'd
but
be
they credit
warmer.
they
Yep.
credit their lack of clothing pushes them harder to work out when they work out.
All right, so it's a personal thing for
Yes.
them because they're in that type of
Yes.
attire or
Yes.
lack thereof.
They're like, we tried the same exercise with clothes on, and it's so weird. We're not good at it. So we just took all our clothes off.
And okay,
It's
so
a nice accent. I like that. I
Thank
like
you.
that.
I don't know what either of them sound like, so I just dreamt that one up.
Thank you.
And listen, everybody's beautiful in their own right. Everybody. And I feel like that's how, when I'm looking at them, that's kind of how they would talk.
Yeah.
But it's not like they're super shredded or anything. The guy doesn't have massive biceps. They're just kind of, but just your normal, everyday people. But they do claim that they were having problems in their marriage and that this whole nudity thing and being comfortable with that has actually helped them. So maybe if you have some issues, just get naked.
So
Maybe that can work. Yeah.
Their intimate life has gotten better
Yes.
because of this?
And guess what?
What?
They have an OnlyFans.
Oh, of course they do.
There's a
I
surprise.
know.
They banging in the
Shocker.
gym too?
Yeah,
Or?
I'd never know.
I mean, it's part of the thing. I mean,
There is pictures of them with him with a leash on.
Oh.
And am I allowed to say gimp mask? Can I say that?
You did.
And a gimp mask. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but yes. I don't know if that's derogatory, but yes. So they live that lifestyle. The not safe for work lifestyle, the NSFW. Maybe I'll post something. We'll see.
Yeah.
But it is that
that's
time.
that's what Helga makes me wear. and then I respond by this is what I respond to.
Step on my cubes.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, okay. That's my cue. So
Time to go.
Yes. And I know Kyle is waiting patiently to get his information given so he can get those tickets to Tortuga. But it's time for some fun facts and more coming your way on Real Radio 92.1.
The visual aid you need for all the freaky stuff we talk about on the radio. Find it at realradio921.com. Here's traffic on Real Radio.
Downed power lines causing delays near the intersection of North Lake Boulevard at Congress Avenue. And emergency vehicles still on the scene of a crash, Boca Rio Road at Glades Road. Spot something on the roads, call the traffic tip line, pound 250, keyword West Palm Traffic. I'm Ron Hersey.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Did you know Discover wants everyone to feel special? That's why with your Discover card, you have access to 24/7 customer service, as well as $0 fraud liability, which means you're never held responsible for unauthorized purchases. Learn more at discover.com/credit card. Limitations apply.
Hey, it's the Greek for Jason Weiser, my attorney. Whether you were injured due to a car accident or a medical malpractice issue, a slip and fall, or any kind of injury due to a fault of another, their team can help you. Board-certified personal injury attorneys. They can help you determine the responsibility party and pursue the damages and justice you deserve. Contact them at 561-689-8180, 561-689-8180. No fees unless they win. Jason Weiser, my attorney for over 20 years.
The college basketball excitement has begun, and you could be on your way to see the championship game live on April 8th with Duffy Sports Grill's MVP Huge March giveaway. Every visit now through March 31st will earn you an entry. The more you visit, the better your chances to win. So grab your MVP card and head over to Duffy's and enjoy their new courtside favorites, award-winning certified Angus beef burgers and 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And remember,
at Duffy's, our game is always on.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Just dial Pound Law. That's all. Morgan & Morgan, America, and now the universe's largest injury law firm.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I have asthma. I'm at risk too.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Business. It's all the things that keep this world turning. And behind every one of these companies is a partner helping to keep it all moving. It's why the local flower shop and your favorite pizza joint, the startup and the stadium, hospitals and hotels, banks and restaurants nationwide all choose the advanced network, cybersecurity solutions, and round-the-clock trusted partnership from Comcast Business, the company that powers more businesses than anyone else. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
See why Comcast Business powers more small businesses than anyone else. Get started with fast speeds and advanced security for $49 a month for 12 months with a 2-year contract when you add one unlimited mobile line. Plus, ask how to get up to an $800 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call to switch today. Ends 5/5/24. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 100 megabits per second internet and security edge. EcoBill and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Hey, it's the Greek from Monroe's at Palm Beach, and this Thursday night, it's the international kickoff for the Palm Beach Boat Show. 7 to 10 in Legends Lounge. Monroe's is calling all captains, brokers, and employees to stop by for some beautiful ladies, great entertainment, and a great menu. An open bar from 7 to 10. It's Thursday night, March 21st. Make sure you stop in for Monroe's kickoff party for the Palm Beach International Boat Show. Monroe's at Palm Beach, open 7 days a week till 5 a.m. Thursday night. Peace.
Here's the latest with weather on Real Radio.
From the Gordon & Partners Weather Center. Have you or a loved one been injured through no fault of your own?
Call 561-333-3333 or go to fortheinjured.com.
I'm meteorologist Lauren Oleski for CBS 12 News. Skies are going to stay mostly sunny to partly cloudy. As we go through the rest of our Thursday, temperatures are going to be near 80 degrees through the afternoon. That is close to average, though, for this time of year. More clouds will begin moving in overnight. We're going to see more rainfall returning as we move into your Friday morning. And then some heavy downpours and storms are likely heading into Friday evening.
This report is sponsored by Audible. Come to Audible and discover the best selection of audiobooks without exception. Bestsellers, new releases, plus podcasts and exclusive Audible originals. You'll find everything you love all in one place. Sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com.
See this garage door? I gotta be honest with you. It's ugly. I mean, successful, attractive homeowner like you, it's time to move on. This is not the garage door your parents thought you'd spend the rest of your life with. And that ain't true with everything in life, don't get me wrong. I mean, honey, if you're listening, you can't divorce me just because I'm no longer the handsome stud you married. But your garage door? The neighbors all think you can totally do better. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. Let us show you how many sexy new alternatives there are. Just waiting for someone like you. You swipe right on a beautiful new design, we install everything in a lovely ceremony, and you and your new garage door live happily ever after. For better, not worse. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll come make it right. Maybe I should pick up some flowers on the way home.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
In Florida, hurricanes are a part of life. Our Category 5 storm catcher screens, shutters, and high-impact windows will help protect your home from hurricane winds, rain, and airborne debris. Call 866-61-SMART today for your free in-home consultation.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
From the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
Have you been in an accident? Call Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Real Radio 92.1 is WZZR West Palm Beach, an iHeartRadio station.
Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good. To the Penthouse. Now back to the Penthouse on Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7.
Yeah, you are. Good afternoon. Happy lunchtime. Thank you for hanging out with us in the Penthouse on Real Radio 92.1, 101.7. If you want to seek us out, I know our boy Chad, text at 47142, and you're like, I'm curious what those people look like. You can go to realradio921.com and just click on that Real TV link. And that is brought to you by Jason Weiser. That's Schuler, Weiser, Zoller, Overbeck, Baxter, attorneys at law. I'm telling you, I've utilized them. Unfortunately, not unfortunately because they're great, but
unfortunately for
legal problems.
Yeah.
And fantastic. He's helped my husband out. Jason is a great guy. So thank you for sponsoring Real TV. Hey, this is Franny. Of course, we have Jimmy. Good afternoon.
Hello and good afternoon. Jason Weiser, a big basketball guy.
He is.
Yeah, I'm sure he's glued to the TV sets because tip-offs start pretty soon here.
Oh, dang it.
The first game is
12:15.
Michigan State takes on Mississippi State.
Oh, I'm too
and 12:40 is the next one, too. So, yeah, if you want to fill out a bracket.
I got to do it like ASAP.
Yeah, if you can.
All righty. Yep. I will. You guys can handle the show. I'm going to. Speaking of you guys, we have, if you hear that familiar voice, Megan's in the house.
Hi. Thanks for having me, Real Radio.
Of course. It's been a fun week with Real Radio. It's, what was that one where they were like, this is your life? Remember? And then they would have like voices and you would have to guess who it was from your past.
Who they were,
yeah. Was that what it's called?
That was a fun game.
Guess who? Yeah. And it's time for some fun facts.
It's Fanny's Fun Facts.
So today, I believe you mentioned it, Jimmy, this day in history, that today is Twitter Day.
Oh,
known as
all
X.
right. So it was the first day that Jack Dorsey sent a tweet. The first tweet.
2006. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's a long time ago.
It
feels
is.
like now.
2006.
18 years?
Yeah. The world's biggest microblogging site was launched. And now Elon Musk has it. It's no longer called Twitter. It's called X. But there are more than 229 million daily active users on Twitter/X. 59.2% of users on Twitter are between the ages of 25 to 49. They say that there's more guys than women. 28% are female, while 71.2% is 28.8, while 71.2% of users are males.
That's really interesting.
Right?
You'd think it would be more even. It's like, what's going on Twitter that I don't know about?
My husband, that's his preferred social media. I am barely on Twitter. He gets all of his news, his sporting stuff, everything from Twitter.
Okay.
Yep. They say an average user spends, which to me, I think that it's way more than this, 3.39 minutes on Twitter. That doesn't make any sense. You would think it'd be way more than that.
3.39 minutes.
Yeah.
So under like 3.5
Under 4 minutes, yeah.
No
right?
way. No way.
Maybe like at a time.
Average?
It says average user.
All right, so because there's a lot of users, technically I'm a user of Twitter. I have a Twitter account. I barely use it. As a matter of fact, I use it more for work where I post a couple things, for work here. I don't use it for myself. So does that count as like I bring that number down?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Jimmy. You're bringing the statistics down.
That's what I do. It's what I do, Megan. I bring things down.
You don't. You bring this show up. Stop it. You're an upper, not a downer.
All meant in good fun.
The annual revenue, they said specifically the year 2021 was more than $5 billion. One of the most popular accounts on X is still at Barack Obama.
Oh, yeah, I believe that.
enough.
I believe that.
Yeah. Okay. You can probably see his bracket because I know he does an annual bracket.
Oh, I wonder if he has posted that on there.
Maybe I'll
'cause
just
I'm
take his
interested.
bracket.
Yeah. There you
Mine
go.
is his.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
Just download that.
They say that YouTube is the most popular brand account on LinkedIn, which is owned, I don't know if it still is, it was by Twitter. Twitter is the 9th most visited website across the globe.
What?
This is wild. I know. They say that 391 million accounts don't have even a single follower. That breaks my heart. And
they're bots.
Yeah, probably.
Right? Yeah.
Probably. Yeah. They also have here the United States ad revenue reached 785 million on Twitter alone. And here, finally, with these Twitter fun facts, the most tweeted emojis. Do you want to guess?
The eggplant.
No, it should be though. Should be.
And that, gentlemen, is why Megan is back on Real Radio.
Should be. What is it? What do you think?
Angry face. Because it's Twitter.
I know.
I mean, there's a lot of angry people on Twitter.
No, well, I don't know. Angry is that? It's
Crying
the crying,
eyes?
laughing.
Crying, laughing.
And then the crying, the one where it's just like waterfalls coming down their face.
Okay, so
those
either
are
super happy or
like
laughing or
super
super sad. Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
Makes sense. I think that would be probably the same for most social media platforms, right? As far as the most used emoji.
Probably.
It's a regular Thursday afternoon in my world.
Yes.
Just laughing, crying, going into straight sobbing.
One to the other.
Those are your fun facts. So speaking of emojis, that one emoji, the one where it looks like, I always say it's like the shocked look and you're blushing and the eyes are big. I always say it's the face that my husband makes when I goose him. I give him an oil change. We call it oil change in the house, but if you know what a goose is, they say
oil change.
I call it oil.
That's different in my house, by the way.
Oil check.
Just so you know.
It's an oil check.
In
So
case you care.
that is the one emoji that boomers don't understand the most.
Right, and we're going to get into some boomer sayings that maybe some people don't know. I have to ask, do you know there was an emoji that I sent you yesterday, and I didn't.
On my phone?
I didn't realize that I sent you a weird one because I thought it was the one where. The emoji and then underneath it kind of goes to, and I thought it was a hug, right? Because you said something nice to me, but it's a melting face.
Did you see that I didn't respond back? Because I was like, I don't know what this guy's talking about.
I did notice that. Is that just supposed to mean like you're hot, that type thing, like you're melting in because it's so hot outside?
I don't know. What do you take the melting face emoji as?
I would say you could use it as like I'm dying outside, like it's so hot, like I'm melting. But I would also say like if somebody says something steamy to you,
really,
then I would say like ooh, like and you use the melty face, like they'd make you melt.
Hold on. Unsend. Unsend.
They're turning you into liquid.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Melting, but also maybe like shame.
Like you want to just like
to melt and like hide and die and like right?
Okay.
Like,
all right. I see your point where you're going with that. Yeah. I just I guess they're close to one another. So I realized that afterwards. I said, I think I sent the wrong one.
Yeah,
there.
it's fine. I just ignored it.
But
It's better than getting the eggplant emoji from him. So
yeah, with the water droplets.
Yes.
Because that's, I mean, when you got to put those two together.
Well, you
and
gotta
then the
rinse your
peach.
veggies.
And then the peach right back.
Yeah, and the peach right there.
Rinse
so.
your fruits and veggies, everybody. You never know.
Yep, that's what it means. Well, I'll tell you what, those are some emojis, and what do they mean? Here are some boomer slang terms that Mental Floss compiled a list of that maybe you do or you don't know. Now, I'm not quite a boomer. I'm still Gen X. And
so my mom is a boomer, right? Is that the age range? I believe she's a boomer.
64 is the last year, right?
Okay.
So up till there. So
64 is the last year.
Yeah,
okay, so she's a boomer. She was 54.
So, but I mean, I'm pretty close. I was born in 69, so I'm pretty close to that. And a lot of these terms and slang terms I've heard of. So I was kind of surprised that it would make a list. But you two younger ladies, maybe you tell me, have you ever heard, or what would you say is jonesing?
Oh, you're like,
you need it. You want
You're fiending for something.
See, I didn't think that would be one that people wouldn't know. Like, I'm jonesing for something, right? Whether it's to go on vacation or, I mean, it's kind of derived from usually like some sort of a substance abuse. Like, you're jonesing for some sort of, whether it's alcohol or drugs.
Coffee.
But we used it into I'm jonesing for a cup of coffee, that type of thing. How about, this is the one that I didn't know, but aggro. And that's just the term itself, aggro.
Aggro. Why? I know this, and I can't think of it right now.
I don't know how to use that properly in a sentence.
Yeah.
What is aggro?
Is it like aggressive? No.
Yeah, very
Aggressive?
very short. It's short for aggressive.
Okay.
I don't ever remember hearing that one.
I have,
to be honest with you,
but I've never used it myself.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known how to use it in a sentence.
These are boomer slang terms that I'm wondering if you've heard of these or not, because a lot of these seemed like they were pretty self-explanatory to me. How about zilch?
Nada, zero, zilch.
Yeah. Another one that they say that boomers know, but younger generations have never heard of. Basically meaning zero. When someone has no job, relationships, or money-making prospects is where this is derived from as a definition. But we have evolved it into meaning pretty much just zero, right?
Right.
Another one that Franny does around 10:05 each day was zonked out. Do we know what zonked out is?
Yeah, like you're tired, passed out, right?
Tired,
Zonked.
asleep.
Yes.
And again, not one that I would have thought that people wouldn't understand. Anyone who's flat on their backs due to fatigue, drinking drugs, even according to this definition, or just plain boredom,
So just passed out.
is considered zonked. But I always thought, you're tired, you're sleeping, right?
Yeah.
How about a wannabe? I mean, again, very simple one. Are you kind of a pretender?
Like a try hard.
Right, yeah, pretender. You want to be like, kind of short for you want to be
my lover.
or that too.
Yeah.
Mellow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
pretty mellow,
chill.
chill. Yep. These are boomer slang terms that apparently Mental Floss doesn't think that younger generations have heard of. Wig out.
Like freaking out.
Yeah.
Losing the mind.
Yeah. And actually losing composure, right?
Yeah.
It usually means you're upset. But you can use it to probably.
I guess we don't really
even in
use
more of
wig
a-
out that often.
No,
but
it's an older term.
it is.
Let's bring it back.
Yeah, why not?
Sure.
Before
we
I
should
wig
do it
out.
right
Yep.
here. Here's my absolute favorite on here: a brewski.
A beer.
It's a beer.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. It's a short for beer. Boomers on college campuses in the 70s referred to it, and I'll tell you what, even in the 80s and 90s, we used it as well. This one I didn't know of, and so here's one that I learned while reading this one: leaf peeper. And this is
what?
I have no
leaf-
idea.
A leaf peeper.
I don't think I want to play with that
I don't
person.
know. Yeah, I don't know what a leaf peeper is.
What is that?
Well, then I'll take that off my resume. No, believe it or not, you know why we probably haven't? Because this is more of a regional thing.
Okay.
Right? Not to be confused with a peeping Tom, of course. But a New England boomer apparently used this phrase to describe tourists who would come around during the fall.
Huh? Oh, to look at the
Leaves changing color on trees.
Oh, that's
And they
new to
only
me.
come
Never heard
by
it.
just to see that. Again, not really something
Yes.
here in Florida we would be as familiar with. And of course, number 10 on this list was granny glasses.
What? I don't know what granny glasses are.
You don't know what granny glasses?
No.
How about you, Megan?
Would-
Have you ever heard of that?
Would those just be like big, thick glasses or something?
Oversized, pointy, or out of
Okay.
fashion spectacles. Now, they used to be kind of considered it because, again, your granny, your grandma would wear
Got it.
them. And they've come back in fashion.
They are.
The,
Sure.
the cat shape, right? The cat eye type shape of glasses. I think they've become popular again. I know somebody, a female that I've been friends with on Instagram or Facebook, and I just see her post and type of thing. Interacted a little bit, and she's probably more your age, right? And she wears them all the time. Has all kinds of different color versions of them. Yeah,
they're getting back in style. I'm surprised you left this one out. Numbnuts.
Numbnuts.
Yes. Why'd you leave Numbnuts out?
One of my favorites. I hadn't gotten to it. There's a couple others on here. A grunge.
See,
is
to
one.
me, grunge was more my era, and that's why boomers is weird. Like we had the grunge. It was 90s. That's when Pearl Jam, Nirvana. That was grunge.
Yeah,
like I don't.
Type of music, right?
It was, and it was music and style. So that's why a boomer. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
It is interesting.
Yeah.
I wouldn't classify that under the boomer category, but mental floss apparently did. How about smartass? Well, you just said numbnuts.
Numbnuts, yeah.
They kind of
I
go
like
together.
smartass, too.
Knuckle sandwich. I mean,
I'm gonna give you a knuckle sandwich.
It is an older term,
is.
but I think we know
that
what
we
it
need
is,
to bring back too.
Right?
Yeah.
Knuckle
I know
sandwich.
plenty of people who could be using a knuckle sandwich today.
I karate chop them in the throat is what I say, but I like a knuckle sandwich.
Maybe that couple use this, roids or roid rage.
Well, maybe.
All right, so again, steroids.
I know a
is,
couple guys who
what
have roid rage
is,
too.
Same.
And I'll finish off on my list here. Yikes.
Yikes.
Which again, I don't think that's
Zoinks.
I don't.
Yeah,
think
that's very Scooby Doo.
Zoinks, yikes! I associate if you're gonna do cartoon wise, more like Wile E. Coyote, and he used to hold it up on the sign, right? Because he never talked, and he'd always put up yikes, when he's. Yeah.
So maybe if you go on a first date and you're not dressed appropriately, the girl might be yikes like that. And this is, according to a poll, the worst things that you could wear on a first date. Now, I don't know if you saw this, Jimmy, yet. What would you think is the worst thing you can wear on a first date?
I would say being too casual, like shorts, Crocs, that type of thing.
Made the list.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yes.
yeah, okay.
Yes.
No, thank you.
Yes.
Just anything casual, tank top.
Okay.
type
And
of a
Brady, it
thing.
just depends on the date, too. Like, if you're going out and you guys are doing something outdoorsy, then I think that would be appropriate, right? Especially here in South Florida.
Well, I don't know. Tank top, I guess maybe. I still would wear
For a
at
guy.
least a short sleeve
Is that what you're
shirt.
saying for a guy? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm picturing that more from a guy. Yeah.
Yes.
But what do they call when it's I know the bad term is wife beater.
I don't know the new, what do they call it now?
I don't know if the appropriate
just a tank top.
A white under
we know
tank.
we know what it is. We're not trying to offend anybody.
No.
But that type of a shirt that guys would wear at one time.
I know, but there's a new name for it, and it's so
You're
stupid.
right. It's dumb.
It is. I got to find it, because I know they were trying to, and I was like, why? Just why?
It's just a little too casual in my book for a
They're
man
they're
to wear.
canceling it, is what they're doing.
I think that like any gender showing up in sweatpants to a first date.
Okay.
And
yeah.
I'm a lover of some sweatpants. I've
Yes.
got
Sure.
I have my casual ones, right? I have
Yes.
my fancy.
All kinds.
You have fancy sweatpants.
Yeah, I actually just
Interesting.
explained this to my co-host Carmine because I told him that I changed out of my sleep sweatpants and changed into my
your-
work appropriate sweatpants. And
So you do have a huge array of sweatpants.
I
right?
do.
Yes.
Separate drawers and everything. I know
Yes.
which ones are for home and which ones are for
Okay.
play. But if you showed up in a first date with sweatpants, no matter where you're going
Yes.
or who you are, I think you just look lazy.
And by the way,
does.
guys, we can see everything when you wear sweatpants.
Especially the gray ones.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
you're not
yes.
hiding anything.
So they changed it. I had to look it up. Gen Z influencers rebranded wife beater to wife pleaser. Yeah.
Well, guess
right.
what? Many a wives not pleased by that tank top.
Exactly.
So let's get rid of it.
So
Good idea.
speaking of sweatpants, you're almost like right there when they pulled 3,000 Americans from all walks of life and they asked if poor fashion choices or two would make them say no to a second date, right? So they said only 13% said it wouldn't matter at all with the poor fashion choices. 56% said they'd factor it in whether or not they would go on a second date.
Okay.
31% said it's a total deal breaker and they wouldn't go on a second date even if the person seemed like a good match.
Okay.
Right? In other ways, 31% was like, nope.
Well,
They're dressed poorly.
They do say that like the first impression is so important, right? So you do want to show up usually kind of
Put
looking
together.
your best, right? Put together. I'm telling you, if I were to go on a date with a guy and he had like a skin tight shirt on, and I'm talking like it looks like
I call
would
it a schmedium.
right?
Yes.
Schmedium.
Yes, a schmedium shirt.
Right, like it looks like it should belong on a child.
Yes.
And I mean, I'm if I can see your chest hair, your nipples through that thing,
All right.
it's too tight and
I
that's
feel ya.
inappropriate.
I feel you. And that actually made the list. So they give us the top 8 things. Ripped skinny jeans.
Okay. I feel attacked.
Yes.
any skinny jeans.
Yes.
They don't have to be
But
ripped,
I
don't
know,
think,
but
right?
see, for guys, but girls wear skinny jeans. So it's just, I don't know. And it doesn't really say, because it says Americans. It doesn't differentiate whether it's males or females. So ankle socks with sneakers.
Okay.
Which I feel ankle socks.
It's like a trend now.
I
A lot
know,
of like
yeah.
I think
I don't
I've
feel like
seen,
it's an issue.
No, I think I've seen a lot of like younger girls and guys though, and I'm talking like in their teens probably upwards.
White
like,
ankle socks.
yes, with like
sneakers.
the big sneakers,
Yes.
and it's like a newer fashion trend.
Uh-huh.
But would you want to go out with somebody who dressed like that on a first date?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
No.
A shirt that's way too tight, as Megan mentioned. Number
Yeah.
6,
Okay.
anything with huge logos on it. That made the list at 5. Oversized sunglasses, especially if it's at night.
Wow. Oh, well, that- you're just
Don't
being
be that
pretentious.
person.
Yeah,
Don't be
yeah.
that person.
Yeah.
Crocs at number 3.
Okay.
As you mentioned. A full designer outfit, head to toe. 1 and 4 think it's a turnoff. Like, I guess if you're just Gucci'd out, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, they find it to be a turnoff.
Maybe they think that you would be like a wannabe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Bringing
And
it back.
I've never heard of that. What does that mean? Let me look that up.
And
over
then
there.
finally
Maybe,
here,
maybe if it's dressing too formal, is that it?
they
for,
say no,
for like
just
a casual
designer,
date?
just designer
What do you say?
outfit, head to toe.
Because then maybe somebody would think that you're like so bougie, like, oh, why'd they have to show off and wear all
Maybe.
their designer in one?
Oh, all right. No,
Could be.
I can see that.
And then wearing a full tracksuit at 28% said
Yo.
yes. A little Run DMC style.
They-
Say it's
they-
a red flag.
Yeah, this survey wasn't taken in Jersey.
No, lots
Clearly.
of tracksuits.
Clearly.
Jimmy, we want to take a phone call?
Sure, we're going to talk to our good friend Mike from Green Acres. Hey, Mike, how you doing today, buddy?
Hi, Mike.
Hey, hey, Jimmy. Hey, Franny, and hello, Megan. Welcome to the show
Why, thank you.
What's going on, Mike?
for one day or two. I was going to say, Franny, when Greek isn't there, you're usually in the chair with the curtain in the back with the
I am.
real radio.
I
stuff
know,
on it.
but I just this is my home, my seats.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes if it's just Jimmy and I in the past few days, we've had Jason with us. I'd liked him to feel comfortable in Greek's chair. He has the nicest seat here, so.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. But yeah, I've been watching on Facebook. I wasn't sure if you were going to be on Facebook today, and then
Oh, Real
I came
TV,
back
yes.
from- yeah, real TV.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm all mixed up. But yeah, so I'm just thinking about going to the. It's not till April, but the tastings.
You should
but
go.
For me, it's really not worth it to pay the money. I don't drink. Well, I don't drink. What am I going to go in and
Eat?
take little?
Eat everything?
Everything you want for just $35.
Yes, you
Mm-hmm.
can eat all the food.
Yeah, but diabetes is not good for that
Oh.
for me either. With all that good
All right.
stuff, you know.
Well, then just come hang out.
I
don't know what to tell
There's plenty of healthy options.
Yes.
I know my friends at Tropical Smoothie Cafe
Oh,
are going to be there with
perfect.
like wraps and
Sure.
smoothies and stuff. So you can make still smart choices.
I was going to say, I've seen you there multiple times.
Yeah, I think.
No, I've never been to tropical. Yeah, I've
No,
been
at tastings.
yeah, I just passed tropical smoothie. I live off a jog, so
There
they
you
opened up
go.
a new one. over
Well,
here.
except for Mike, get your tastings, your tickets, pvtastings.com. It's a great time. And when we say unlimited food, wine, craft beer from we have a lot of great restaurants coming this time. I mean, I'm sure the City Cellar Wine Bar, Payway normally has some healthy options. The Cooper.
There really is something for everyone,
Yes.
Mike. You got to come check it out, regardless.
Yeah. Last year I got the VIP.
Oh, look at you, fancy pants.
I know. I still have my little tag hanging on the door there.
You did it right. Everybody should get that VIP ticket. Gets you in an hour early.
Me too.
You have what
Yeah.
hanging?
All right. Well,
What?
Got my ticket hanging.
Oh, okay.
I meant to call. I meant to ask Jimmy a quick question.
Sure.
Jimmy, what is your beer of choice?
My beer of choice? I'm a Coors Light.
I know
dude.
you have but Coors Light.
Coors Light, yeah, that's typically what I drink. Or Coors Banquet, but it's harder to find. Not as many places carry it, believe it or not.
Okay.
Regular Coors.
Mm-hmm.
But when I can find it, that's what I really like. But yeah, just typically stick to Coors Light.
Coors Light, cans or bottle?
Noted.
Doesn't matter.
As long as it's cold, right?
Yeah. Just make sure it's
As long
cold,
as
that's it.
those mountaintops are blue.
Yep.
because I like to bring stuff to you guys. So
Well, that's certainly very nice of you, Mike, and we appreciate it. We appreciate it when we see you out at all the events. I mean, everything we're giving away turkeys,
Yes,
or we
he's
have
always
an
there.
event going on, or we have Greek's Hardwood. I know a lot of times you come out to support us, and we really appreciate that, Mike. Can't thank you enough.
And your name came up the other day. I had lunch with brunch with Jim DePola.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Oh, no kidding.
Yep, from our real estate show on Saturday mornings.
Yeah, Jim DePlola, Florida Talk Real Estate.
Yeah, we caught up at my favorite breakfast place, and we had a good time for talking. And he talks about stuff that I really doesn't have any interest in. But.
Well, that's what Jim does. But if you're not into the real estate thing, but there are some really good things to learn about too.
There
with real
are.
estate.
It's a good show. I do real estate, and I'm tuned into.
Especially with the the homeowners insurance, which affects Floridians so much down here, and with all the and then now, of course, we got the big news lately where they're changing the commissions up on how real estate agents are paid on buying and selling homes too. That's going to be very interesting to see how that pans out. But again, thank you so much for the phone call, Mike. We certainly appreciate it. One of the things that we talk to Mike about usually is scratch off lottery tickets, and that made me think of what the jackpots were too for the lottery. Powerball to Saturday's drawing is up to $750 million. So apparently nobody has won this week. We haven't really checked in a couple of days. And the Mega Millions is up to $977 million. That is tomorrow night's drawing. So, yeah, if you want,
get your tickets.
Go get some tickets.
I spent $20 and I won $4.
All right.
Yeah, so just down $16. I'll play again.
But do you still get excited when you win, though?
Oh, of course. I scanned it and I was like, ooh, the other day I got 12. I won $12 on 20. So I'm like, at least I'm winning something. I mean, technically I'm losing, but at least there's something. Yeah, so go get your Powerball tickets. And how about go get some water and some lunch, because we'll be back in a few minutes. We got a trifecta coming your way. And this is going to be a fun conversation. I have your text messages too about very Floridian, how you're from Florida. I have those too. But we are going to get into things that guys do that women they scratch their head. They don't understand it. And you can play along with us on the Penthouse on Real Radio 92.1.
Real Radio is the news junkie.
They're trying to get rid of hotel bathtubs, and I just can't stand for it.
You know what? I'm glad I didn't take your side.
Sealand, you've used a hotel bathtub before. I've seen it. Wait.
The News Junkie. Weekday afternoons at 3 on Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7. Getting you up to speed on traffic on Real Radio.
Expressways up to speed along the Palm Beaches. We're looking good on the Turnpike and 95. Downtown West Palm, Flagler Drive shut down from Okeechobee Boulevard to Banyan for the Palm Beach International Boat Show. Use Quadro Boulevard instead. That's traffic. I'm Judy Stewart.
This report is sponsored by Silk. Feel plenty good. Shop wherever you find groceries. Silk's delicious plant-based beverages help bring a daily dose of goodness to help you feel plenty good. They are rich in calcium and a good source of vitamins A and D to support the health of you and your family. Shop wherever you find groceries.
Are you over 30 and putting off life insurance? It's time to get a quick quote from Ethos. A better, easier way to get term life insurance. All online with no medical exam. Answer a few health questions and you could be approved for up to $2 million. Isn't it worth 10 minutes to help protect your family's financial security? Ethos. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
Hey, it's the Greek for Jason Weiser, my attorney. Whether you were injured due to a car accident or a medical malpractice issue, a slip and fall, or any kind of injury due to a fault of another, their team can help you. Board-certified personal injury attorneys. They can help you determine the responsibility party and pursue the damages and justice you deserve. Contact them at 561-689-8180, 561-689-8180. No fees unless they win. Jason Weiser, my attorney for over 20 years.
Nothing adds crunch to a salad quite like a fresh bell pepper. If the bell peppers you're buying don't sound like this, then they're not fresh from Florida. Florida bell peppers are grown right here in the Sunshine State by our hard-working local farmers. That means they're fresher, crisper, and have a way better. Bell peppers are in season now, so look for the Fresh from Florida logo or ask for it by name where you shop. fresh from Florida, there's sunshine in every
Business. It's not a 9-to-5 proposition. It's all day and into the night. It's all the things that keep this world turning. And behind every one of these businesses is a partner like Comcast Business helping to keep it all moving. It's why the local flower shop and your favorite pizza joint, the startup in the stadium, hospitals and hotels, banks and restaurants nationwide. All these businesses choose the advanced network, cybersecurity solutions, and round-the-clock trusted partnership from Comcast Business. From Main Street to Wall Street, our people are powering the businesses that power it all. So when you're ready to unlock what's possible for your business, there's no one better to answer the call. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Restrictions apply. Call or visit ComcastBusiness.com to learn more.
In Florida, hurricanes are a part of life. Our Category 5 storm catcher screens, shutters, and high-impact windows will help protect your home from hurricane winds, rain, and airborne debris. Call 866-61-SMART today for your free in-home consultation.
Have you been injured in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident? If so, Smith Ball Baez and Prather, Florida injury lawyers, will help and fight for you. Our purpose is legal power. Our mission is huge results. If you've been injured in an accident, the lawyers at Smith Ball Baez and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith Ball Baez and Prather, help is just a phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I have asthma. I'm at risk too.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Give the star in your life the brightest gift in the world. Name a star after them. This is Rocky Moselle with International Star Registry. For $59 and a call to 800-282-3333 or visit starregistry.com, you can name a star for birthdays, weddings, or even memorials. Over 45 years, we have named millions of stars for celebrities and individuals from around the world. The star you name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Visit starregistry.com or call 800-282-3333.
Every day, Cintas service reps help businesses get ready for the workday. They provide freshly laundered workwear delivered every week. Mats, mops, restroom and cleaning supplies. First aid and safety products to help your employees stay safe. They even test and inspect fire extinguishers and emergency lights. Cintas helps keep your business running smoothly. See what Cintas can do for you. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Meal planning is work, so let Fresh from Florida help. Learn what's in season, browse hundreds of recipes, and get tips from Chef Justin by visiting freshfromflorida.com. Eat healthier with Fresh from Florida. There's sunshine in every bite.
Hey, it's a Greek. When I like something, I don't change. I like brunettes for a long time. I'm wearing Armani since I'm 12, and I'm a Yankee fan. And I found my favorite cigar, and it's Vega Fina. Take it from your boy. I love the way it smokes, and I enjoy it. After a tough day, you know my life's tough. It's Vega Fina. If I don't know who to bet in a game, I go with a Vega Fina. It clears my mind. And at the track, I love winning on long shots and smoking a Vega Fina. Vega Finas can be purchased at Casa Monte Cristo and Boca Raton. Puff, puff, baby. Peace.
Car accident? Visit smithball.com to learn more about our past huge results and how we can help.
Real Radio weather.
I'm meteorologist Lauren Oleski for CBS 12 News. Skies are going to stay mostly sunny to partly cloudy. As we go through the rest of our Thursday, temperatures are going to be near 80 degrees through the afternoon. That is close to average, though, for this time of year. More clouds will begin moving in overnight. We're going to see more rainfall returning as we move into your Friday morning. And then some heavy downpours and storms are likely heading into Friday evening.
This report is sponsored by Fuse Specialty Appliance.
The Fuse Specialty Appliances Spring Clearance Sale Event is Saturday, March 23rd at the Deerfield Warehouse just off 95 and Hillsborough Boulevard. Up to 70% off premium appliances. Shop online now for the same incredible discounts. Visit FuseSpecialtyAppliances.com for more information.
NFL Total Access, the podcast, is getting you ready for the NFL Draft. I'm your host, Andrew Levy, and I'll be delivering 2 shows a week to make sure you're caught up on the latest NFL news, every free agency move, and how it changes the draft needs of your NFL team. Draft experts, talent scouts, mock drafts, and shock drafts too. NFL Total Access, the podcast, on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Presented by T-Mobile for Business. Now is the time for 5G business.
Greek Trifecta is sponsored by Jason Weiser, attorney at law.
This is Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7. Real talk for the Palm Beaches and the Treasure Coast.
Huge turnoff for me on the first date is when I say I have to go to the bathroom and she says, yes, me too. And we end up at the urinals together.
You're listening to The Penthouse. Now back to The Penthouse on Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7.
I get it. It's probably a turn off for some. Not all. Weird. Not all, but for some. Hey, what's going on? Thank you for participating on that talkback feature. If you're like, hey, what is that? Well, you just go to our iHeartRadio app. If you don't have it, you should download it. Search Real Radio 921 and you click on the microphone and you can record a voice message and we will play it on air just like that. Speaking of we, I am Franny. We have Jimmy. Hi, Jimmy.
Hello and good afternoon.
And good afternoon to our special guest, Megan. Hi.
Hi, Franny and Jimmy. Thanks for having me.
Yes, and if you're just tuning in, Megan used to be part of the Real Radio family, and now you can tune in to mornings on Wild 95.5 with Carmine and Megan. We do not have Greek here. He is taking a well-deserved vacation, but we still have Greek's trifecta.
Riders up. It's Greek's trifecta.
Well, the NFL Players Competition Committee is proposing a revamped kickoff for next season where the kicker will continue to stay on the 35-yard line and the rest of the teams, both sides, will be on the receiving team side of the field. The whole idea of it is to keep from these guys getting these full heads of steam and crashing into each other and causing what they say are a bunch of concussions. So we'll see how this works out for next year, whether or not it's just in a proposition right now and they're talking about it. We'll see where that goes. Let's get over to the hardwood where the Miami Heat, hey, they won last night, 107-104. They beat the Cleveland Cavaliers in Cleveland. Next up, they take on the Pelicans tomorrow night at the Kaseya Center. And speaking of basketball, it looks like we've got the 64 teams for March Madness is all lined up. Let's see, who won last night? Grambling State ended up winning to advance, and Colorado advanced. They played Boise and beat them 60-53 as well. And taking a look at the scoreboard, because we've already got our first game tipped off. Michigan State and Mississippi State are hitting it head-to-head, and looks like Michigan State's up about 20-8 right now. They got a pretty good commanding lead early in that game. And that is this hour's Greeks Trifecta.
All right. So like most people, I looked, and it looks like former President Barack Obama has UConn as the champions.
Right.
I think that's who most people are going to have.
I am right with Mr. Obama on that one.
In fact, he has UConn, Houston, North Carolina, and Tennessee as his final four
all right.
in the men's tournament. As far as women's tournament, South Carolina, UCLA, Stanford, and UConn as well. But he has South Carolina winning in the end against UCLA.
All right. Well, we'll see how that turns out.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Yep. So let's get into this. You can play along with us, 47142. You just have to start the text off with Real Radio. In fact, you did play along with us when we were asking things that are you just know when you're from Florida. Is there anything you can think of? Like you just know that person's from Florida.
I saw a flag, a big, like, almost like American flag style flag, but instead of being the American flag, it said DeSantis 2024,
All
and
right.
it was waving out of the back of a pickup truck, and I was like,
Definitely
wow.
from Florida.
Florida.
Definitely from Florida. Some
Yeah.
people, they text at 47142. You're from Florida when you've definitely driven through Yeehaw Junction.
Yeah.
You know that you're from Florida when no other grocery store can compare to Publix.
Facts.
Yep.
Pub subs.
You know what a snowbird is.
Yeah.
And when they leave.
And when they leave,
Yeah.
we're well aware.
We are very aware. And then down south in Florida means Key West. So those are signs you know you're from Florida. So this is something else you can participate with us. These are things men say women don't realize about them. And they range from surprising to somewhat heartbreaking. So with guys.
This should be interesting.
They say, so this is guys, it's a Reddit thread. And what are some things that are normal to men, but kind of mind-blowing to women? So they say a physical fight is not the end of all future interactions. It's an establishment of hierarchy, they say. A message of we both won't just back down in the face of conflict, and depending on the outcome, proof that both can hold their ground in violence is actually, it's not no useful way to resolve conflict in the future, which all in all can lead to greater friendship. I think that if we get in a physical fight with each other, it's probably the end of a friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah, with women.
If I have to fight one of my girlfriends, I'm probably never going to be friends with her again.
Exactly. Like, what did she do?
One of my girlfriends actually did get in a physical fight with her roommate at the time, and we thought, oh, that's it. We are never going to see what's her face again. And that's not true.
Still
They're
friends.
best friends again.
Okay.
I guess they forgave each other, but I thought it was the weirdest thing.
Yeah. I don't know if I could do it. They said...
I guess I'm a woman there. 'Cause I can't imagine being in a physical fight with another dude, one of my friends, and then all of a sudden we're going to be friends again after that.
Weird.
I don't, I can't jump on board with that one.
Well, they say, and I've never been, but like Ireland, when you go, they said that there was like really big bar fights and brawls and stuff like that.
Just
when
between
you go.
buddies.
Just between buddies, and then they'll buy each other a beer afterwards. Like they beat each other up. I'm like, hey, come in for a pint.
All right, I see that, especially when there's drinking involved. Because I mean, if you're blaming it on the
Alcohol.
alcohol, yeah, I can sort of see that.
I had a conversation with my younger brother. Now he's 28, and has basically fought all of his best friends.
Okay, so
but
it's a thing.
Okay, all right.
I guess it's a guy thing because they're all still friends, and it's mind-blowing to me. So I completely agree with that being on the list.
So this is why mind-blowing things like men do that women don't. This one makes me laugh, and it's so true. My ex-wife was so flabbergasted one time when she met two of my friends of mine, one of which I only knew his first name, the other only his nickname. She thought I was lying because I've known them for over a decade. She was like, their actual names never came up and weren't necessary.
Yep. All right, I'm on board with that one.
Are you?
Yep. Oh yeah. There's some people that I know that
Don't
I
know their last names.
I don't know their first name. I just know them as a some sort whatever their nickname
That's
is.
funny.
Yeah.
So you have zero excuse these days because social media is around, and typically it has their first. One of our good buddies, his name is Juice, and he's always going to be Juice. I mean, that's it. But I had to ask. Inquiry minds want to know, what's your real name?
Yeah.
It's Matt. So I know, but it's just like I think it's a female thing.
Yep.
My husband didn't know, and he's better friends with him. And I was like, he shares the same name as you.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This has got to be.
Just doesn't care because we
Mind
just
blown.
call him Juice.
Got a buddy of mine. His name is Buzzy. That's it. That's
And you don't know.
It's a nickname. I don't know his real name. I just know him as Buzzy. That's it. Period. Not a statement.
All right. Okay.
That's okay with me. I ain't no problem. I don't need to know his name.
Same thing. Speaking of this, kind of related. This guy, I don't remember the birthday of my best friend of 12 years. I just know it's in January at some point. You got to know. Is it the same with you? Do you know?
No, birth dates of best friends. No, I wouldn't know that.
Okay.
No, that's maybe more of a guy thing, I guess. Yeah.
All right.
I have to put all birth dates and stuff like in my phone.
Mine are in my phone too.
Yeah.
It alerts me.
Now, when you get like the happy birthday from somebody who's simply just your friend on Facebook or something because it's like 10 o'clock at night and they're like, ooh, I just missed so-and-so's birthday.
Yeah. Well, they just got home, opened up Facebook, and then the notification was there in the lower right-hand corner.
Yeah, sorry. The other day was
We
Jimmy's
know.
birthday and nobody told me, but I found out.
You got to find out. This one, two guys could spend the afternoon together, have a grand time, come home, and have their respective wives be absolutely bewildered that they didn't learn anything about what's going on in the other guy's life.
Yeah.
What do you guys talk about?
We don't.
Watch sports and drink beer, I guess.
Well, it depends. Maybe a little bit.
Because I know you're not silent.
A little bit of chit chat,
Okay.
but a lot of times we can just go for a long time. I'll go to the ball game with my dad, and we'll speak 5 words sometimes.
Mhm.
We just don't. It's not. We're there to have in each other company, have a good time, but you don't necessarily have to sit and talk about all the world's problems.
Okay.
Jeez, when I sit down with my girlfriends, I'm like, tell me everything. What'd you eat for breakfast? What type of detergent are you using?
Yep. You know their ins and outs. Yeah, it's so weird. You guys are so much different. This guy said, I went to a girl's house recently, and she and her roommate were shocked that I didn't share my location with my friends. Now, I'm not shocked by that. I don't share my location with everybody.
Not with everyone.
Yeah.
There is a group of friends of mine that one of my girlfriends initiated it, and she all insisted that we should all know where each other are.
Okay, like just in case you get kidnapped or something.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Is that a Snapchat thing?
No,
Or-
this would just be an iPhone.
On iPhones,
thing.
yeah, you can
Oh,
do
an
that.
iPhone. Oh, well, okay. Again, I always play ignorant to that because I don't have an iPhone. I'm not even familiar with all of the ins and outs that they can do. I heard that recently for Snapchat. I guess that's the thing where you
can do
share
that.
a location through there. And
Yeah.
I'm not a big Snapchat user. Maybe a filter
Yeah.
from time to time.
I'm not either.
Outside of that, the only people that know where I am at any given time is my wife.
If
mean,
I'm
we
live
have-
on radio, then you know where I am.
Right? I mean, I'll
Well,
tell my
that's the other thing,
husband
too,
where I'm
is-
at, but I don't share my locations with him. I mean, I can if he asked me to, I would. It's just not something that we don't do.
Sneaky.
But I know I'm up to shenanigans around here. But I do have a friend, the same thing. Her and her girlfriend lives in Kansas City. They share locations with them at all
Yeah.
times.
My best friend lives in Texas,
Yeah.
and we have each other's location. But also, my husband and I do share locations.
Yeah.
And it's mostly because I'm a worrywart. So if he doesn't text me back or
It's a
something,
concern thing.
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
Does that mean I just don't care? Is that a problem?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty much.
You
Yeah.
your anxiety is not quite as high as mine.
No, I guess I just don't care.
We got to Life 360 when Katie started driving.
Yeah.
So
I know a lot of parents have that.
We are together with in that group because of that. Because when she's first driving and. They don't have much of a test down here to get a driver's license. So, it can be quite dangerous. And, of course, we talked earlier about how bad it is sometimes. So we just wanted to make sure that she was safe. And it was more for that than anything. But, it also helps us to be able to judge, okay, someone's here, they're moving, or they're at work, or they're not, or there's an issue or something. So
My
it's not
girlfriend
just
did
to
the
keep
same
track.
thing when her daughter turned 16, put her on that so she knows where she's at all times. And now she's off to college, and so she knows where she's at all times.
Now I get that weekly driver's report telling me how many times I went over the speed limit.
No, I don't want to know that.
Shut up, car. I think when we were talking about speed limits, so I still don't know how to change it. I just need to open up my manual in my car. But when I first got my car, my husband, he loves to tinker around and do stuff.
So does mine.
Yeah, and so he sets things that alerts me anytime I go 10 miles over the speed limit. My car's like ding, 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 ding.
That's so funny coming from old Leadfoot.
Yeah. So one day I'm driving and I'm over 10. I'm like, what is all these noise? I was like, what's going on? I couldn't figure it out. And I was like, did you? Yep. Yep. So now every time I go over 10, my car's just
Yells at you.
Yells at me. Yep. This one, my wife continually, we're talking about things that women are just mind blown that guys do that we don't. My wife continually asks me, especially probably if she buys something for him, like, hey, did anybody say anything about your shirt or your hair or your shoes? He's like, no.
That is such a girl thing.
Yeah, no one says anything about my appearance.
I always ask my husband, if he's like, for example, when the Girl Scouts came, like a couple of months ago, right?
Oh, right. Yeah.
I had this abundance of Girl Scout cookies, and I was like, listen, your girl does not need all this in the house. So I sent my husband to work, and I told him to take a bunch of the Girl Scout cookies to the shop.
Okay.
So the next day, I'm like, so did your coworkers enjoy the cookies? And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, what do you mean? Nobody said anything to you?
Girl Scout cookies.
Put them in a kitchen. That was it.
That's what he said. He's like, I dropped them off at the kitchen. I left. I'm like, you didn't make sure that everybody knew they were there.
I
Like,
would have
that
waited
is-
for a thank you. You're awesome.
So I even asked a couple days later, has anybody asked you? Has anybody said anything about those cookies? He's like, no, babe.
Oh my goodness. That's
All
funny.
right.
Things that are mind-blowing to women that guys do, we don't. Being single means no physical contact for extended periods. I haven't been hugged in over 4 years. The last time I touched someone else was a handshake 5 months ago.
That's sad.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of sad for that guy. I feel bad for him. So the same guy says going a long period of time without sex or relationship. For some reason, women thinks it's easy for men to find someone. They think there is someone out there that would do it, or we can just pull women at will. I guess that's
You
different.
don't really think that, do you?
According to this guy, he thinks it.
I don't really think that.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I think it's easier for women to be able to
Sure.
just kind of walk out of the house and be like, hey, you want to do stuff?
Right?
But
This one's interesting too. The complete effing mystery that is flirting. The anxiety of approaching someone you're interested in and making the first move. Straight women act like it's nothing, but I have known by women who get as anxious as any man who approaches a woman. That's interesting. This is according to this guy. We want to take a phone call, Jimmy?
Yeah, sure. We got our buddy Riggs checking in with us. Hey, Riggs, what's going on? You're in the penthouse.
Hi.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hi, Riggs.
I was just thinking about how I was missing pillow talk, and I heard the radio today. That was great.
Yeah.
Aw, well, thank you.
You're getting a dose of pillow talk today.
With special guest Jimmy.
That's
I like it. I'm in good company.
Jimmy keeps it real for sure.
Yes, she does.
Franny, what would you say the difference is between negligee and lingerie?
Is there a difference? I know. I would think that they're the same. Maybe a negligee is more like a nightie.
Yeah.
And lingerie is more sexy.
Yeah, lingerie could be different things, like stockings to garter belt to all kinds of different things where that can be considered lingerie. Where
A negligee, I think
negligee
maybe like
is a night.
It's still sexy, but like silky and long.
Right.
That's how I look at it, like a negligee. Right. And then lingerie is a little bit more spicy.
Yeah, because there's a lot of lingerie you would not want to sleep in. Not comfy.
Yeah.
I see. So which one would you wear when you're giving those oil changes, Frank?
Oil changes.
Yep, I will leave that up to your imagination.
You can put oil change
And
into
I
your
do it to my
conversation
husband, so
today.
he's actually wearing the negligee. When he bends over, that's when I was like, oil change.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Don't tell me you don't goose your wife, Riggs.
Hey, no comment. I'm
Okay.
talking about you, Frank.
Going through a tunnel.
You sound like a gooser. I'm just gonna say it.
Oh, wow. Aren't you glad you called, Riggs?
Oh my gosh, I'm blushing.
Yeah, he is.
I'm a wholesome Midwest boy, Frank. I don't know what you're talking
Nobody believes that. Nobody.
Nope.
I too am a wholesome Midwestern gal.
Well, Megan is from Ohio, and Riggs is up in that area.
Where you at, Riggs?
Yeah, which part of Ohio? I am right outside of Cincinnati here, down by the river.
Okay, yeah, I'm like all the way north. My family is all in Toledo, Ohio, so right on the Michigan-Ohio border.
And he just happened to be in a van, too.
Down by the river.
Down by the river.
It's more common than you might think down there.
Probably.
We're actually heading a little into Ohio on April 8th. There's going to be the total solar eclipse.
Yes.
So we're going to go.
Oh, yeah.
You guys are one of the
day
few places that are going to get the total solar eclipse. We're not going to get the totality. Yes.
Yeah, it's about like 2 hours from me, so we're just going to make a day of it. Go to Bloomington, Indiana, which is a big college town.
Sure.
And see what happens. Take it for the best.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Well, enjoy.
Excellent.
Make sure you don't look at it directly without any protection.
Yeah. We got the gear. My buddy and his family is coming, so it should be a really good time.
Well, awesome. Have
I had
fun.
one more
Jelly.
topic, but then I forgot. Yeah.
You're good. Well,
I'll get out of
if
your
you
way.
remember, you can give us a call back.
Sure.
Sounds good. Thanks, Franny.
All right. Bye, Riggs.
Riggs, take care. Always good to hear from you.
Yeah, 47142 started off with Real Radio. We were talking about things that are not appropriate for first dates, what to wear. Somebody says, well, what if the first date is a rodeo? Are my assless chaps okay?
Oh,
sure.
Are you kidding me? That's
Mhm.
required gear in my house.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this is new to me. A knuckle sandwich was normally like if you want to punch somebody, I'm going to give you a knuckle sandwich. They said is what we call a camel toe. I've heard of moose knuckle.
Yeah, I've heard of that one.
Yes, moose knuckle, camel toe, but not knuckle sandwich. And then
I'm gonna leave all of my comments to myself.
yes, our girl Sarah B.
Well,
texts,
then why are you here?
No, let it out. Let
Come on.
Let it out.
I don't want to be the only one.
Says, I had a friend 20 years ago. We called him Little. He got in a bad car wreck on his way to a party, and we all went to the hospital but didn't know his real name, talking about how guys don't know people's real names.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that crazy? You're just like, that's all you know him by, and you just don't know how to find him in the hospital? You're like, you know, Little. They're
I
like,
just
nope.
I just thought of another guy when we used to go bowling all the time. We were in a league, and we used to call him 4x4 because he was 4 foot tall and 4 foot wide. He's a big dude.
Like tuna can.
And that was it. Yeah, like tuna can, right? Same type thing. Then 4x4. That was his name.
Oh, interesting.
Never knew his real name.
Yeah, you guys to this day. You guys are weird. And then somebody texted about how you're in Florida. They said when your highest mountain is a landfill. And I'm like, yep, that's true.
That's very true. Yeah.
That is true. You have so many ways to participate with us. That is the text line 47142. Started off with Real Radio, but you can email us, Jimmy@realradio921.com. You can leave us a talk back on the iHeartRadio app. And of course, you can call us like Riggs did, 877-927-6969. When I come back, I got some more Florida stories. In fact, we are going to bring this up. Megan and I had a little talk about it off air, but about the law that they may pass for homeless people. Mention that. Plus, we have a woman who made direct eye contact with an alligator while he was doing what? And I know it makes it sound weirder than it actually is. And this is dirty and filthy, and whoever did this should be in big trouble because there was somebody videotaping women in a locker room. I'll give you those details when we come back on Real Radio 92.1.
We're everywhere you need to be. Find your favorite show at realradio921.com.
Experience the best of the Palm Beaches cuisine in one amazing location. Experience the flavors of unlimited samples paired with exquisite wines and craft beers. Experience the fun of live entertainment and VIP perks. The Tastings Food, Wine, and Craft Beer event is back Saturday, April 13th at Tanger Outlets Palm Beach. Taste the Palm Beaches for only $40. Want to be a VIP and get in an hour early? VIP tickets are just $50. Get your tickets now at pbtastings.com. That's pbtastings.com.
Let's see what's up with traffic on Real Radio.
95 and the Turnpike look good. Smooth ride along the Palm Beaches on the expressways. Downtown West Palm, Flagler Drive shut down from Okeechobee Boulevard to Banyan for the Palm Beach International Boat Show. Use Quadra Boulevard as your alternate. That's traffic. Judy Stewart.
This report is sponsored by Jackson Hewitt. It matters who does your taxes.
Why are people saying "Hew yeah" to Jackson Hewitt? When you switch to Jackson Hewitt, they will beat what you paid last year on tax prep, even if you filed online. Proof of prior year payment required when filing. New clients only at participating locations through April 7th. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
Hey, it's Greg from Monroe's at Palm Beach, and this Thursday night, it's the international kickoff for the Palm Beach Boat Show. 7 to 10 in Legends Lounge. Monroe's is calling all captains, brokers, and employees to stop by for some beautiful ladies, great entertainment, and a great menu. An open bar from 7 to 10. It's Thursday night, March 21st. Make sure you stop in for Monroe's kickoff party for the Palm Beach International Boat Show. Monroe's at Palm Beach, open 7 days a week till 5 a.m. Thursday night. Peace.
Embark on a journey through the most absurd moments of the human story with Ridiculous History, the podcast that explores the bizarre corners of human existence, like the evolution of the toilet, the story of Comic Sans, or the exploits of the notorious Aaron Burr.
Aaron Burr is like, one day, my life is going to be part of a musical.
However, though, he probably didn't necessarily at this point think that he was going to be the villain.
Listen to Ridiculous History on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey there, car owners. It's Franny. Head over to GiveMeTheVin.com for an instant cash offer in just 60 seconds. They buy all makes and models from $2,000 to $200,000. And if they can't beat your CarMax offer, they'll throw in an extra $100. They offer a 60-second bid process, pressure-free service, and free pickup. With a 5-star rating from the Better Business Bureau, they've got your back. Don't wait. Now's the time to sell with GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I have asthma. I'm at risk too.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Hey, it's the Greek for Palm Beach Kennel Club, and they've done it again. They have Adam Carolla with 2 big shows, Friday and Saturday, March 22nd and 23rd. Adam Carolla is best known as a comedian, actor, radio personality, television host, and New York Times best-selling author. This is going to be a great night with a lot of fun and laughs. So it's the Palm Beach Kennel Club at the Paddock. Go to their website for more information, palmbeachkennelclub.com. March 22nd, March 23rd, Adam Carolla in the Palm Beach Kennel Club. They do it again. What a great evening.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 original stations, like 24/7 comedy.
They were really donut holes. The bag would be empty.
When you need to laugh, just open the free iHeartRadio app and search comedy.
Should we call someone? I'm like, no, that's his face.
iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
Here's what's happening with the weather on Real Radio.
From the Gordon and Partners Weather Center. Have you been injured in a motor vehicle accident? Call 561-333-3333 or go to fortheinjured.com.
I'm meteorologist Lauren Oleski for CBS 12 News. Skies are going to stay mostly sunny to partly cloudy. As we go through the rest of our Thursday, temperatures are going to be near 80 degrees through the afternoon. That is close to average, though, for this time of year. More clouds will begin moving in overnight. We're going to see more rainfall returning as we move into your Friday morning, and then some heavy downpours and storms are likely heading into Friday evening.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Save big during MVP's bonus days at Lowe's. Buy one select DeWalt 20V Max tool, get one DeWalt 20V Max Power Stack Battery 2-pack free, a $179 value. Valid 3/18 through 3/29 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
From the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
Have you been in an accident? Call Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Real Radio 92.1 is WZZR West Palm Beach, an iHeartRadio station.
Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good. Listening to the Penthouse. Now back to the Penthouse on Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7.
Hello. Welcome back into the Penthouse. Thank you so much for hanging out with us these past few hours. Speaking of hanging out with us, we did have a special guest if you missed it, so sorry for you. Our girl Megan is doing other things right now. She's a busy girl, but you still have Jimmy. Hi, Jimmy.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hi, and you have me still. What is going on? I am Franny, and of course, we have you. You can always participate with us. 877-927-6969 is that toll-free number. You can leave me a text, 47142. Start it off with Real Radio. And, of course, you can email Jimmy at realradio921.com. It's time for some Florida stories.
Florida.
Did you say
Florida? I'm from Florida.
WTF.
What the Florida?
So, yes, it looks like they may be passing a new bill titled the Unauthorized Public Camping and Public Sleeping. And what this bill is for is to have homeless people be banned from sleeping in public places. They said that this is soon going to happen. from camping or sleeping on public property under a new law that was already signed by our governor, Ron DeSantis. It said Florida will not allow homeless encampments to intrude on its citizens or undermine the quality of life like we see in the states like New York and California. Now, under this bill, they say homeless individuals are prohibited from camping on city streets, sidewalks, and parks, and instead will be placed in temporary shelters that are going to be monitored by law enforcement agencies. They also claim, they also claim, and so there's some good things to this. They also claim the state of Florida has the enforcement tools needed to ensure local governments comply. Homeless shelters will require occupants to not use drugs. And these shelters will also include substance abuse and mental health treatments.
That's
right?
Wonderful. I'm all for it.
Me too. So if you've not heard that news, that broke yesterday. And then, yes, a woman was going for a jog. She was doing a little 2-mile loop at a local park, and she saw something quite odd. She said there was a big old gator, and she's looking at it. She was like, at first I didn't think anything of it, and then she got closer. And when she did, this gator was a cannibal. She thought it was a snake, but in fact, it was eating another alligator. She said she snapped a few photos and then continued on her run. So then she was giving heads up to people walking by, like, hey, you should be careful, especially ones that were walking their dogs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That too. So then she was like, you know what? I want to see what's going on. We'll go back. So then she returned to the alligator's feast one more time. And she said it was still there, but this time the two, according to her, shared a chilling moment. She said, it creeps me out. She said he just looked at me dead in the eyes as he's chewing on an alligator. And then she said he swam back into the water with the gator in his mouth. And she said, I just kept on running, as you should. They said that it is according to FWC, that it said it's pretty common for alligators to eat other alligators.
I didn't know that. Not something I've ever heard of before. But,
that's what they said. They said that they find it opportunistic, especially the juvenile alligators, too. And then next up in your What the Florida, there was a gym in the Panhandle, and they found that somebody was taking videos of women in the locker room. In fact, dozens of videos were discovered on porn sites. They did arrest a 30-year-old man. We do not have his name or information, but he has been charged with 13 felony counts of video voyeurism.
Sick.
Now, this is weird. So I guess there was, it's more of a partition instead of a full wall separating the men and women's locker rooms.
Yeah, very strange. Never heard of this.
I haven't either. And so he just put a camera over the partition, the wall, and was able to film women. But they said, changing in the workout room or at the gym in the changing room. They said the videos were recorded by holding a device above the top of the wall. And it's unfortunate. Like, that's out there now. How do you get rid of that? On the web, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. They said that it happened 13 different occasions between September 2023 and now. The guy did admit to recording women without their consent or knowledge and of uploading the videos to the porn website.
Now, he's obviously, that person is going to get charged and everything like you said there. Can you prosecute the porn site?
I don't know, because it's not on
do they have any responsibility that if it's a type of a site where anybody can just upload to it, do they have any responsibility for the content that's on there?
So according to this article, they said that the videos have been removed from that particular website and are no longer available to be viewed. But that's that particular website. People can snatch stuff. You just don't know.
It's already been downloaded probably by other people. I mean, we don't know that for sure.
No.
But, I mean, I wouldn't be a bit surprised. So, and then somebody else already has it. Now they can upload it again to another site.
Yep. They also said that the sheriff's office reported that the gym owners learned of the videos and they ended up renovating the changing rooms to prevent anything similar from happening again.
That's good to hear. I'm still baffled by it. You hear something like this, you try to picture in your mind what that would look like, and I can't place how that would be.
And not even just the cameras. It's so ridiculous. If we can do that, guys can just peek over their head, hey, what's going on?
Or the ladies.
Yes,
could,
exactly.
Too.
Right. Some girls want to see some D's.
We know.
I get it. And that is your What the Florida. So speaking of Florida, one of our favorite drugs here is meth. And you said this is going to be like the next meth Jimmy?
It could very well be.
Yes.
So that was kind of a joking headline that I had for it. Move over meth. We have a new drug. But I wanted to start this article with asking you for your school now in Georgia, like let's say high school, right? So when you were up there, was there something like the kids started to do to get a high of some sort? I mean,
Like,
every generation finds,
Yeah.
or even certain classes find that certain thing. Like for us, it was whippets, right? They would take the
Like the
whipped cream, right, and put it upside down so that they could kind of huff the
Whippets were a thing for us, too.
Were they?
Our generation.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of anything. I think we just went straight to weed. I don't know. I can't think of anything off.
Where it's like they try to find something that's legal and get a high off of it, right? Because that's exactly what this is. Apparently, kids learned how to get high off of nutmeg.
What?
Who knew? I didn't realize you could. One teacher issued a surprise PSA about students allegedly using nutmeg for nefarious reasons. And I'm sorry because I have to get to a certain page here. Here it is. And so this one person posted at Lakeview Living is her, I think it was her Instagram handle. She explained what she found. She's a school teacher, I believe.
A couple of the kids had these little bottles of nutmeg in their bags. What do you have nutmeg for? And they were like, oh, culinary class. So then they're at lunch and she's talking to the culinary teacher and she was like, what are you guys making that needs that much nutmeg? And the culinary teacher said, what are you talking about? We're not making anything with nutmeg. Well, the resource officer overheard them. And he was like, you remember which students? The resource officer goes in the classroom, looks in their backpacks, and finds little jars of nutmeg. They're all suspended because these flippin' teenagers have figured out that you can use nutmeg to get high.
What?
And isn't that pretty wild? I never heard of it. Apparently,
I haven't either.
According to medical news website, nutmeg has hallucinogenic properties. And I'm going to butcher this word, so bear with me. Myristicin is a chemical compound in the spice that causes intoxication. When a person consumes that myristicin, it metabolizes in the body and becomes MMDA. The post from the video.
What? Like ecstasy?
Well, I guess like probably a lighter version of it, but yeah. According to this article and according to these people, it apparently was at a medical news site. The post from the video garnered some responses, as you could imagine, and many claimed they've known about it for years. Some even went as far as to say, why are the kids suspended?
So they're sniffing it.
Yeah, is nutmeg a controlled substance? So who knew? I guess if you consume it in, like when we think of nutmeg, we use it as something as a mix for, maybe a cake mix or something like that, right? I mean, that's what you. So you're only putting a couple drops
like your
in,
eggnog or something,
right? That type of thing. But if you put in, I guess, if you take a bottle of it and drink the whole thing down, maybe it can give you that effect.
So it's not the powder; it's an extract.
I guess maybe.
Because I thought
know.
they were sniffing like the powder, like the nutmeg seasoning.
They said they had bottles of it, so or maybe it's a powder form.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
what
sure.
I would assume is that it was a huffing thing. I have never heard that before. But now that we're talking, it's not necessarily a substance, but you know what? I never did it because I had no interest in doing it. But the weird thing that we used to, and I'm sure you've heard of this, to get high, the kids would choke each other out. Do you remember that?
Well, that was
the choking game or whatever,
asphyxiation thing. That was more of a game, more of a challenge.
But it was to get like a floaty kind of high sensation.
Yeah, true. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I always thought it was stupid.
Anything like that where you're putting yourself in a position where you're that close to death. I mean, all you got to do is go a little bit further and you're done. And that's what happened to many people.
Yep. So I guess if you're a parent, be aware that your kid is carrying nutmeg around.
Yeah, just something if you see it in their bag. I mean, this could be another one of those like whippet things or what else was there? There's a bunch of fad things over the years.
Huffing, what was the cleaner for the keyboards? You ever hear that?
Right. Okay. Yep. Anything with like an alcohol like that type thing. I even used to, and I didn't do it on purpose, but when I was delivering fuel, I mean, if you're putting gasoline in, and you get such a concentrated, the way I did it, because we were pumping 60 gallons a minute into a tank, you get such a amount of the air coming back out, and it was just nothing but fumes of gasoline, and I'd have to keep my head back a little bit because otherwise you get high from it.
Well, if you have an interesting way of getting high, I'm just kidding.
Jimmy at RealRadio921.com.
47142. That is our text line, including our girl Sarah. She's needs your help because she has been in this karaoke contest. And tonight the contest cuts to top 5.
Does it really?
She says, so please keep voting.
We guessed vote today?
She
Did you
needs
vote for
to
today?
stay in it. So every vote helps. Love you all. That's from Sarah B.
Let's see.
Yes.
I don't recall if I voted today or
Facebook,
not.
if you don't know our girl, and a lot of people have been voting, so thank you. But yeah, Sarah B Country, if you want to seek her out, let's have our girl win because she's got some bills she's got to pay, and that's what it is. Currently 3rd in the group. She needs to stay top 5. It's a free vote. If you are feeling generous, you can pay for more votes. But
there we go.
Super easy to do.
Excellent.
Yep. And then, so speaking of
Getting
meth, we're going to talk about some things that we're going to crack. Things that slip through the cracks. And some of these I didn't recall.
Segue.
I know.
That's how you
It's
do it.
seamless,
That's the pro in you.
So these are 15 pretty big celebrities and scandals and allegations that somehow just went away, slipped through the cracks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, this. Oh,
And
this
I
could be
remember
fun.
this. Yeah, I remember this
is gonna
story.
Be fun.
So honestly, says I can't believe more people don't talk about the Katy Perry versus the nuns debacle. Remember that? They said only the nuns of Most Holy and Immaculate Heart of the Blessed Virgin Mary had already sold it to a restaurateur, Dana Hollister, who had moved in. They said then he sold the property to Katy Perry and claimed the nuns hadn't had the rights to sell the property. And then there was this messy legal battle that began. They said in one post-judgment hearing, after the judge ruled against the nuns, one of the nuns, 89-year-old Catherine Rose Holzman, collapsed and died.
I don't remember this at all.
I remember nothing, but I don't know the details, and now we're getting them. Yeah. They said the nuns preferred the previous owner, Dana, as an owner because she would keep the convent, open to the public, converting it into a hotel. Also, they would not get any money from the sale to Perry, despite the fact that they had originally purchased it in the first place. They said one of the nun who passed away said Katy Perry represents everything we don't believe in. It would be a sin to sell it to her.
Huh.
Yep. So, yeah, I didn't know. They say hours before her death, she spoke to the press saying she and the other nuns had asked the Vatican for help, too. Pleaded with Perry to please stop pursuing the purchase, saying it's not doing anyone any good except hurting a lot of people. So the last surviving nun, Sister Mary Callanan, told the New York Post in 2019 that Perry has blood on her hands. It's unclear if the sale even ever actually went through, and it doesn't look like she ever lived there. So I guess she wanted to purchase it for a home.
Oh, all right.
Right?
I don't remember that one.
I don't either. So I don't remember this. 2012, American Music Awards. Jenny McCarthy. They said that people don't believe she got quite enough flack for forcibly grabbing and kissing Justin Bieber.
Oh.
Yeah. They said he was 18 at the time, so not a kid. He's
okay,
okay,
so
but,
not underage.
Yeah,
now,
but he said even Justin said that he felt violated by her. And she said, I couldn't help it. He was just so delicious, so little. And I wanted to tear his head off and eat it, she said. And that she did kind of molest him. She said, I want some Bieber fever and I want a Bieber rash.
Yeah,
it'd be like cougar rape is what she said.
I mean, there is a little bit of the double standard.
Yes.
You know, that way to where women could go up to somebody and give them a kiss and more than likely you wouldn't get as much pushback as
absolutely.
if
an older
went up-
guy did it to a young 18-year-old, you know it would be talked everywhere.
Yeah.
Not just that. There's probably a lot of men that were just like, I wish Jenny McCarthy would kiss me.
Well, then there's that side of it too.
Yeah.
I don't knock it.
Uh-huh. We also have, these are celebrity scandals that kind of slipped through the cracks. They said Kevin Hart admitted to domestic violence in his memoir. I can't make this up. Life lessons. Even saying he once spent the night in jail after an argument with his then partner. Turned physical. He described thinking when it got violent, we were fighting. Am I really fighting? Am I holding my hands up as if she's a man right now? Oh my God, I'm out. I've really got my hands up, not to defend, but to counter, like I'm waiting for you to throw a punch. I never knew that he was charged for domestic violence.
I didn't either.
And everybody looks at him, like he's funny, a comedian, American sweetheart kind of thing. Yep. Never knew that. 47142, if you guys know any celebrity scandals we have here. Am I the only one who didn't know that Robert De Niro, along with Robert F. Kennedy Jr., once offered $100,000 to anyone who could prove that vaccines are safe? I didn't know that. Did you?
No. De Niro?
Yeah, De Niro. They said this came after participating in a panel that flouted debunked vaccine claims, including that they cause autism. De Niro's son has autism. Oh, and De Niro wanted to put an anti-vax film in the Tribeca Film Festival, calling it very personal to him, though he ended up later pulled it. So
De Niro, really?
De Niro.
I didn't know that. No, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., yes. I mean, I know that he's always been one of those that's a little bit more, hey, if you want to take it, take it. If you don't, you you shouldn't be forced to type thing. But I didn't realize that De Niro was on that side of it.
I didn't either. Yep. So these are some shocking things. Johnny Depp, we know famously what happened between him and Amber Heard, right? I mean, this was like one of the most watched court cases. It was just a drama. But they said we also know about them, but the defamation trial. But one part that consistently gets overlooked is Paul Bettany's part. Bettany is a friend of Depp, and they said he exchanged numerous texts with him about Heard, some of which concerned burning and drowning her. Says, I'm not sure we should burn Amber, Bettany wrote after Depp suggested it. Said, she is delightful company and pleasing on the eye. We could, of course, do the English course of action and perform a drowning test. Thoughts?
Wow.
You have a swimming pool.
Oh, wow.
Yep, Depp reportedly wrote back, let's drown her before we burn her.
Ooh.
I will F her burnt corpse afterwards to make sure she's dead.
Damn.
Is that not insane? I don't remember that. How is that
I don't
not
either.
enough?
Yeah, I don't remember that at all.
He just charmed the pants out of the jury.
Well, there was so much, though. I mean, that trial just felt like it went on forever, and I'm sure that's how something like that got pushed, to underneath, right?
Yeah, so crazy, crazy stuff. There's more here. We have Halle Berry, who we know is G-Man's favorite. Remember back in the day, she was with David Justice, Atlanta Braves.
Right.
They said, while Halle Berry has never publicly named her attacker, she has claimed that one of her exes, a well-known star, once hit her so hard her left eardrum was punctured, causing her to flee so quickly. So she said there were skid marks. We have singer Christopher Williams, who dated Halle, later alleged that the attacker was Wesley Snipes. They said ex-boyfriend David Justice later claimed the same in a series of now deleted tweets that were supported by her ex-husband, Eric Benet. Celebrity scandals, 47142. And then I'll wrap it off with this one. If you have not heard these, we are going to talk a little DiCaprio. They said that we'll end on the scandal surrounding the never-released Tobey Maguire and Leo DiCaprio movie, Dawn's Plum. Never even heard of it, obviously, because it was never released. They said that Maguire and DiCaprio starred in a movie that was essentially about a group of awful people talking in a diner. The movie was never released in the U.S. In fact, is not allowed to be released in the U.S. after a legal battle where Maguire and DiCaprio claimed they had never been informed the film was a feature with a commercial release, which I don't even know what that means. Years later, Wheatley, who was one of the producers, made the film available via request on his site, Freedom Plum, writing, Leonardo DiCaprio has done everything in his power to bury this film and me along with it. So if you want to seek that out, he alleged frightening behavior from Maguire, who says screamed at him for 12 hours after releasing the film. He also tweeted that Leo is Toby's little bitch, that there's something strange about their relationship. So those are some interesting things. I know I've never heard about him, so maybe you haven't either. And I want to give you a heads up. We have a tastings event happening. That's April 13th, and that is going on at the Tanger Outlets. Unlimited food, unlimited craft beer, unlimited wine, live music, spirits, all kinds of good stuff happening April 13th, Tanger Outlets.
Yeah, go see what Drive Shack has.
Yes.
Nothing Bunt Cakes, Smoke Shack Barbecue, Buffalo Wild Wings, just a couple of the restaurants that are going to be there. Not to mention Florida Rum, House of Wine, Beer and Spirits, Mulligan's, famous Bloody Mary.
That's Knox and Dunn Florida Rum. Yes.
Oh, that's true.
Yes,
Knox and Dunn
yes,
Florida Rum.
yes.
Very good. You need to add that in there because that is some excellent rum. One of my favorites, Voodoo Juice from Hurricane Grill. It's just a couple of the beverages that will be there as well. Pick up your advance tickets. They're $35. Or if you want, go ahead. Get a VIP ticket. You can get in an hour early, and you get a little bit of extra time. You can sample those unlimited free beer, wine, and food samples that are there. Plus, there's going to be good music there. There always is.
Always is. pbtastings.com. That's the ticket, or that's the website where you can purchase your tickets. Get all the info, including who's going to be there. Now, when we come back, we do have a trifecta. We do not have G-Man, but I wish we did because we've had an argument with him for a while. Well, I want to call it a debate. Is venting, what were we saying? Is it venting or bitching? What was it?
What's the difference between venting and bitching?
What's the difference between venting and bitching? We have this debate, but does venting actually make you feel less angry? So they've done a study on that, and we're going to find the answer to that. Yeah.
Right.
Plus a trifecta, which will be handled by Jimmy when we come back on Real Radio 92.1.
Real Radio is the news junkie.
They're trying to get rid of hotel bathtubs, and I just can't stand for it.
You know what? I'm glad I didn't take your side.
Sealand, you've used a hotel bathtub before. I've seen it. Wait.
The News Junkie. Weekday afternoons at 3 on Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7. Here's traffic on Real Radio.
Turnpike in Lake Worth, our slow spot on the Thursday drive. Crash blocking a left lane. Watch out for slowdowns. Turnpike south, it's right before Lake Worth Road. That's traffic. I'm Jody Stewart.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate, not one based on anyone else. So if you drive safely, you could save money. Good to know. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today.
Hey, it's a Greek. When I like something, I don't change. I like brunettes for a long time. I'm wearing Armani since I'm 12, and I'm a Yankee fan. And I found my favorite cigar, and it's Vega Fina. Take it from your boy. I love the way it smokes, and I enjoy it after a tough day. You know my life's tough. It's Vega Fina. If I don't know who to bet in a game, I go with a Vega Fina. It clears my mind. And at the track, I love winning on long shots and smoking a Vega Fina. Vega Finas can be purchased at Casa Monte Cristo and Boca Raton. Puff, puff, baby. Peace.
If you're looking for the yard of your dreams, look no further than Moon Valley Nurseries. America's largest box tree grower is now open in Riviera Beach. Here you'll find a wide assortment of mature trees and hedges to choose from. Work with our dedicated nursery pros to plant your dream yard. Whether you're looking for instant privacy, a relaxing oasis, or a statement piece, Moon Valley Nurseries is here for you from planning to planting. Call 561-295-8852 to schedule a free design consultation or come see us at 3200 Broadway in Riviera Beach.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in an accident and would like to know the value of your case, go to forthepeople.com to see cases just like yours. You see, all lawyers are not the same. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey, let's get out of here. With Audible, we could root for a lone astronaut as he tries to save Earth from disaster. Maybe go for a run with the founder of the world's biggest sneaker brand. We could get the tea on the real-life media mogul succession drama. Or find out what life is really like for an Oscar-winning actress. I mean, with Audible, we could go anywhere. There's more to imagine when we listen. Hear the latest audiobooks, podcasts, and originals at audible.com.
Business. It's all the things that keep this world turning. And behind every one of these companies is a partner helping to keep it all moving. It's why the local flower shop and your favorite pizza joint, the startup and the stadium, hospitals and hotels, banks and restaurants nationwide all choose the advanced network, cybersecurity solutions, and round-the-clock trusted partnership from Comcast Business, the company that powers more businesses than anyone else. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
See why Comcast Business powers more small businesses than anyone else. Get started with fast speeds and advanced security for $49 a month for 12 months with a 2-year contract when you add one unlimited mobile line. Plus, ask how to get up to an $800 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call to switch today. Ends 5/5/24. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 100 megabits per second internet and security edge. EcoBill and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
I'm Scott Smith with Smith Ball Baez and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. If you've been injured in a car accident in Palm Beach County or the Treasure Coast, Call us to schedule a free consultation at one of our offices located in Palm Beach Gardens, Port St. Lucie, or Boca Raton. If you've been in an accident, the lawyers at Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather, help is just a phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
Embark on a journey through the most absurd moments of the human story with Ridiculous History, the podcast that explores the bizarre corners of human existence, like the evolution of the toilet, the story of Comic Sans, or the exploits of the notorious Aaron Burr.
Aaron Burr is like, one day, my life is going to be part of a musical.
However, though, he probably didn't necessarily at this point think that he was going to be the villain.
Listen to Ridiculous History on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Drake's Trifecta is sponsored by the physicians at MMJ Health.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and, in rare cases, fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I have asthma. I'm at risk too.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Meal planning is work, so let Fresh from Florida help. Learn what's in season, browse hundreds of recipes, and get tips from Chef Justin by visiting freshfromflorida.com. Eat healthier with Fresh from Florida. There's sunshine in every bite.
Here's the latest with weather on Real Radio.
I'm meteorologist Lauren Oleski for CBS 12 News. Skies are going to stay mostly sunny to partly cloudy. As we go through the rest of our Thursday, temperatures are going to be near 80 degrees through the afternoon. That is close to average, though, for this time of year. More clouds will begin moving in overnight. We're going to see more rainfall returning as we move into your Friday morning, and then some heavy downpours and storms are likely heading into Friday evening.
This report is sponsored by Jackson Hewitt. It matters who does your taxes.
Why are people saying "Hew yeah" to Jackson Hewitt? When you switch to Jackson Hewitt, they will beat what you paid last year on tax prep, even if you filed online. Proof of prior year payment required when filing. New clients only at participating locations through April 7th. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
NFL Total Access, the podcast, is getting you ready for the NFL Draft. I'm your host, Andrew Levy, and I'll be delivering 2 shows a week to make sure you're caught up on the latest NFL news, every free agency move, and how it changes the draft needs of your NFL team. Draft experts, talent scouts, mock drafts, and shock drafts too. NFL Total Access, the podcast, on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Presented by T-Mobile for Business. Now is the time for 5G Business.
News Junkie is sponsored by FAMU's Mary. Educate, learn, talk.
This is Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7. Real talk for the Palm Beaches and the Treasure Coast. listening to The Penthouse. Now back to The Penthouse on Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7.
Hello, and welcome on into The Penthouse. You took that elevator straight up to the top floor. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. By us, I mean me. Hi, I'm Franny. And of course, we have Jimmy. Good afternoon, Jimmy.
Ding.
Are we here, top floor?
We're here, top floor, and we're glad you're here with us.
Yes,
Thank you so
are.
much, Francis, and good afternoon.
Hi, and G-Man, if you have not been tuned in, Greek is on vacation. I know. We will have him back in the Penthouse. Maybe if you want like a little taste of Greek, you can always use that text line 47142. We take requests even on Thursday if you're thinking of a misspeak.
Ooh,
why not?
Great
Just
idea.
Put out a number there and we will make it happen. And we don't have G-Man, but we still have trifectas, and Jimmy has been doing a stand-up job with those.
Oh, thank you.
Riders up. It's Greek's Trifecta.
Well, the NFL Competition Committee is getting together to see if they can fix kickoffs in the NFL starting next year. They're toying around with an idea of the kicker still being on the 35-yard line on their end of the field. And then, of course, the rest of the line and the opposing team's line, the receiving team's line, is going to be somewhere on the receiving team's 40-yard line. And the whole idea is so that they don't have running starts and can hit each other, which they feel is causing concussions in the NFL. We'll have to see what comes out of that committee. It's not the first time I've heard of this rumor. I've even seen some people post videos on it to kind of give you a visual of what it would look like. Again, that's the whole idea behind it. So we'll see what happens with that. Terry Rozier scored 9 points for your Miami Heat. They ended up beating the Cleveland Cavaliers last night in Cleveland, 107-104. Next up, the Heat take on the, how does the Greek say it? The Pelicans tomorrow night at the Kaseya Center right down there in Miami. And finally, we had a couple of games last night which brought in the final set of teams to make up the 64-team roster for March Madness. Grambling State erased a 14-point deficit in the second half, and they ended up beating Montana State 88-81 in overtime. And Colorado dominated in the last minute and a half or so against Boise State, and they ended up winning 60-53. So they were into the tournament as well. Now, the tournament already started earlier. And let's see if I do have it here. Michigan State is taking on Mississippi State. Michigan State is currently leading 43-34. And how do you say this? This ever sound familiar to you? Duquesne.
No.
Duquesne, they're taking on BYU. And they're beating number 6.
How the hell do you say that?
Duquesne, maybe. That's
maybe.
it.
I have no idea.
They're currently up on top of BYU, 38-30. BYU is the number 6 seed, by the way, in that tournament. So that might be the first kind of middle of the road upset there.
Yep.
In the making.
Brackets are busted.
We'll see.
Already.
Akron and Creighton are also tipping off. They're currently tied at 8 apiece. And that is your final trifecta of the day. Now, Jimmy at realradio921.com is the email address. Please write in anytime you want. We were talking earlier about how guys, sometimes they don't know each other's name and they only know them by the nickname.
It was a list of things that women are mind blown about that guys do that we don't.
Right. I got this email in. It says, I have a buddy called Red. Known him for 20 years. No idea what his real name is. He once told me he has 7 kids by 4 baby mamas, and 2 of them don't know his real name either.
Wow.
They only know him by Red.
What? Like the kids didn't ask?
Apparently, even the kids don't know his real name.
They just call him the dad.
Well, they call him Dad, right?
That's funny.
And then I got a follow-up to that says, my boy Red is the living Florida man. He only drinks tall boy natty ice, once had a bad meth problem, keeps a machete under the seat of his truck. By the way, that was another, how do you know that you're from Florida if you have a machete and you're not Puerto Rican? And is banned from every Walmart in the 9454 for shoplifting, and once was arrested for changing out of his work clothes buck naked on a packed Broward County bus.
He sounds like a gem.
Sure is. Jimmy at realradio921.com is the email address. Sarah B's also checking in ahead of time before we get to the conversation.
Okay.
The difference in her opinion between venting and bitching. Venting is when you complain to get it off your chest, and then that's it. You're done. Bitching is when you complain about the same thing you vented about again.
Okay.
So
all
you go
right.
back and revisit it.
I like it. So we're
that
going
is
to get
Sarah
into that.
B's version of what the difference is between venting and bitching.
And speaking of, you have other ways to get in touch with us. Those were emails. We got some text messages. 47142 started off with Real Radio, talking about how do you know somebody's from Florida. It says you understand why it's better to have a friend with a boat than have a boat yourself, according. Is that a thing? Yeah.
That's great.
Yep. You know the 4 seasons really are hurricane season, love bug season, tourist season, and summer, according to that.
That's great. I
There
like
you
that
go.
one.
So
I like that one.
those are ways. And then we also have Jimmy brought up that the kids, oh, here we go. Scotty texted in, Scotty C. It's pronounced Duquesne.
Oh, Duquesne. Okay.
Thank you,
Okay.
Scotty, because we have no idea.
Thank
and
you
then
very much,
we
yeah.
were talking about like the weird things kids would use to get high.
So apparently kids are now getting high using nutmeg. Now, is it in powder or liquid form? Does
I
he
saw
know?
powder. I
Powder
saw powder
form.
in an
Okay.
article I read from the New York Post.
Okay.
And more people are texting in. They're like, Duquesne. It's pronounced Duquesne.
Oh, Duquesne.
Yes.
Okay.
And then
Thank
we
you.
have somebody
Thank
who
you so
says
much.
Duquesne. So I don't know.
Duquesne. That's what it looks like to me. When
Yes.
I'm looking at it like,
So we have Duquesne, Duquesne, Duquesne. 3 people are saying Duquesne, so I'm sticking with Duquesne.
I would go with that too. That's always like whenever I read the word for Versailles, like the Treaty of Versailles,
Yeah.
right? When you look at it, it looks like Versailles or
Yes.
something like that. The way
Yep.
it's spelled, so funny.
And then Rush is one of the fads teens use to get high.
Okay.
Especially in PC Beach. I'm guessing that's Panama City. The liquid came in a small bottle with beads in it to shake up. You would sniff it for an instant buzz. I'm not familiar with that. That's from Kevin and Jupiter. And then we have here, my mom used to have a seltzer maker, and it came with those CO2 cartridges. We used to do those, the CO2 cartridges that come with the seltzer makers. Have you seen those?
Right.
Yeah, we used to do those like as whippets. And my mom would say, hey, what happened to CO2 cartridges? Because they were empty. And we were like, oh, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. And then you missed it. You were on the phone, but Rush, they said, is one of the fads teens used to get high, especially. They said it was a liquid, came in a small bottle with beads in it to shake up. You would sniff it for an instant buzz. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, I'd never heard of that either. I mean, I've heard of you getting a rush, but
Yep.
that's the only way I would know it.
Nope. And then we have how you know you're from South Florida. You wear long sleeve fishing shirts on 90 degrees plus or 90 degree plus days, or there are boat name stickers all over random street signs or the front windows of businesses. All right. Well, there you go. That's how you can participate.
That one always question. I questioned that until I realized that it was to keep from getting sunburned.
Yeah, right.
You know.
So we are going to get into, is this venting, does it actually help us feel less angry? So venting to a friend or partner about a bad day may feel like it's helping, but new research suggests that it's not really reducing any kind of rage or upset.
Oh, then what's the point in doing it?
Exactly, just to do it, just a bitch. Analysis of more than 150
Venting.
studies finds venting doesn't help us feel less angry because it actually increases our physiological arousal. So while you're venting, you're just getting more upset about the situation.
And getting aroused?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes, physiologically aroused.
Oh, wow.
Yes, they say by increasing heart rate, blood pressure, muscle tension, and more. So to actually let go of that anger and actually feel calmer, it's hard for people to do because venting is just so fun. They say that you should do like deep breathing, meditation, yoga, even counting to 10 are always the way to go. Not as much fun though. This is from Ohio State University, so who knows? But yeah, they said that they've studied this, 150 studies, and they said that venting does not help.
Well, let's do our own study.
Okay.
What do you think? Now, not getting into the venting or bitching. I mean, I think Sarah B is. I'm kind of along the lines with her, right?
Yes.
Bitching is when you keep saying it over and over and over again. You're complaining about the same thing over and over again, type thing. Where venting is, I just want to get this off my chest, right? That type of thing, and I get that. Do you feel better when you vent a frustration to Matt or your mom or your sisters or anything like that? Like you just need to go, you know what, I got to get this off my chest, and then I feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
Because I know there's plenty of times that I do that. I've done it to you. I've vented to you, and afterwards
I've done the same.
Felt better.
And that's what it is. And sometimes I think also when it comes to a vent, it's typically followed, right, by, like, if I'm venting to you, followed by, like, a solution or a way forward or something that makes you feel better after the fact. Like, I don't think it's just kind of like letting it off your chest and the person not really saying anything. I think you're hoping for a response when you vent.
Well, there is that, right? I mean, that's a good positive because then that turns almost into a conversation, right? Where you're going where I'll say to you, "Oh, boy, Franny, I don't, like this or this or this or this." Oh, well, if we do this, maybe that'll be better. Okay, but I can just feel better if I
just
let it all out, right? Or let out just a couple of things. And but I see your point too. You can have a solution involved with it as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I get it.
If you want to use our lines to vent, you can do so. 877-927-6969. Or that talkback feature is a really cool way to do it. And I want to get into this too. So what would you like to have 99% discount on for life?
I saw this article.
99%.
And I wasn't sure whether I was going to bring it up or if you were going to bring it up. The only problem I had with this, and
this is for industries, for a following industry, yes.
You know what? Matter of fact, before I say anything further, go ahead and explain it.
Yeah, so if you could receive a lifetime 99% discount in any single one of these following industries, which would you choose? So this was a poll that was done by Reddit, and I'll tell you what's in the lead right now. But the industries that you would have a 99% discount on: transportation, like Uber, flights, trains, buses, car, gas, EV charges, car repairs, all those things are included in that.
Right.
Then you have insurance of all kinds. Luxury goods, jewelry, Chanel stuff, iPhones, etc. Utilities, water, electric, internet, cell service. Entertainment, movies, concerts, nightclubs, fine dining, cruises, all kinds of stuff. Taxes. And I would put cruises on transportation too. But anyways, taxes on top of all the other deductions and credits. Which one would you have? Would you like a 99% discount on?
And see, that's unfortunately because this is what I do as a guy, right? So I look at some of these and I go, all right, well, some of this is subjective.
Okay.
Because you even just mentioned it there. Like, you would consider cruises under like a traveling,
because
right?
they put flights and stuff, right?
Right, under flights, where I might put that under luxury goods.
Okay.
Because to me, like vacations and things like that, where you can travel, can be luxury goods, because that would probably be one of my choices. Like, if I could have a $10,000 trip to Europe, let's say, right? And you got this whole thing all over Europe, and you could do something like that. And I don't know if you want to call that under travel or if you want to call that under luxury.
Entertainment,
but,
maybe is where they put it with that cruises.
To be able to spend $100 on a $10,000 trip, because that would be 1%, right? That's the idea behind. You'd have a 99% discount. Boy, that certainly would be fun. So
you'd pick entertainment?
Yeah.
That's what I guess
We'll
I
call
put it under.
Okay.
See, I would pick transportation. Uber, flights, because get my flight there for cheap. Gas is on there. Car repairs, all that stuff's pain in the ass, and it's stuff that you need, all the time. Luxury goods is actually in the lead with 649 of the votes. They have 2,000 votes so far. 649 people would rather have that. Then it goes transportation, utilities, taxes, utilities, insurance, and entertainment's on the bottom of the list.
Taxes may not be a bad one either. Because, if you think about all the taxes we pay, our income is taxed, our everything we buy is taxed, and you have different types of income tax too, depending on where you live, where you have a federal or state income tax. You've got property taxes. And if you could have a discount of 99% on all that, boy, you'd save a lot of money.
Yeah, that one's a tough one.
Yeah.
But I think I'm sticking with transportation.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
And entertainment would be
travel.
second, I think. I do believe. Yep. Do we have a call, Jimmy?
We do. We have our buddy Evan checking in with the Penthouse. Hey, Evan, what's going on, bud?
Hey, everyone.
What's up, Evan?
Yeah, Franny, earlier you were talking about checking someone's oil.
Yeah. Yes. Call it oil check, yes.
Okay, well, yeah, oil check it. Right. Back in the early 2000s, there was a professional rugby player named John Hiawape. And I don't know if you know anything about rugby, but they have a thing called a scrum. And a scrum is when, like they clinch, they get into a clinch, they get all together. Like
when the
that.
whole team, it's almost like a huddle kind of thing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What John Hiawape would do, he would put the old, do the old
finger in the butt.
Oil. Yeah. And make the guy jump, and then he'd get the ball and take off. And he did that multiple times. He was the most fined rugby player in history, I think.
That's funny. I got to seek that out. I actually I'm somewhat into rugby. We have friends who play rugby locally, Palm Beach County, and they do pretty damn well.
They play here?
Yeah.
Oh,
they have a rugby team.
Is there rugby leagues here? That's interesting.
Yeah, they are the Palm Beach Panthers rugby team.
How about that, huh?
Yeah, but so anyway, you got another name for it. It's called the Old Hiawape.
I am never going to remember that, but thank you for the story. Old Hiawape.
Hiawape.
Got it. Hiawape. Thanks, Evan.
Evan, take care. Thank you so much for calling and sharing that.
Yeah, so let us know. What would you rather have on here when it comes to a 99% discount? We pick travel, your options, utilities, insurance, entertainment, taxes. Did I say transportation and luxury goods?
Yep.
So let us know, 47142. That's the text line. Speaking of the text line, we have 99% off with my mortgage or weed. I spent about the same on both.
Wow.
That's a lot of weed.
Damn. Or you got one hell of a low mortgage.
I guess. That is a lot of weed. So speaking of weed, it makes you get the munchies. Let's play a little game, Jimmy.
Oh, all right.
We're going to do some this or that.
Ooh.
Snack edition.
This or that?
Mm-hmm.
This?
This is going to be a snack edition of this or that. You can play along with us. We'll tell you where the majority is. The battle of the salty snacks. Are you going popcorn or potato chips? I'm popcorn all the way.
Probably potato chips.
Potato chips?
Yeah, but boy, I like both.
I know. You're in
Yeah.
the majority.
Yeah.
64% potato chips.
Yeah.
I am a popcorn kind of girl. Pretzels or saltines?
Saltines.
Me too. It's so I can eat a sleeve of those things, and I shouldn't.
I got a
because
sleeve in the
Do
other
you?
room. Yeah, I brought some in.
Damn gluten intolerance, but I just can't. I love them. And like the little oyster crackers that taste like saltines.
Oh, there you go.
Uh-huh. So we're doing a little this or that. Cheetos or Doritos?
Oh, Cheetos easily.
Oh,
Yeah.
by the way.
I don't like Doritos.
Pretzels won by far, 70%.
Oh, did they really? Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay.
You don't like Doritos?
I don't like Doritos. Yeah, I'm one of those
Blasphemy.
weird. Not a fan.
I myself like them, but I would pick Cheetos too.
Okay. Yep.
58% Doritos. So we're in the minority. Now, when it comes to the battle of the sweets, these are so different, but I know which one I'd pick. Are you going to Oreos or gummy worms?
Oreos.
Oreos too, all the way, 64%. Chocolate chip cookies or brownies?
Chocolate chip.
Me too.
Yeah, I have a tendency going that way more.
That is split right down the middle.
Especially if they're homemade, right?
Yeah.
You know, not like what you go to buy to the store.
Yes.
You know, they're good too. But
I
mean,
will
homemade.
say, when you say homemade, every day, all day, I will pick my mother-in-law's brownies over anything.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what she does to them, but they are so freaking good.
They got very the M word.
They're nice and chewy and emmy.
Gooey. Chewy and gooey.
Gooey. They're so good. All
Words
right.
you don't want to use around Jimmy.
Yes.
Chewy and gooey.
All right, we're doing this or that. Late night snack here. Or any time of the day. Chicken tenders or pizza? What do you pick?
Chicken tenders.
Gosh darn it. That's hard. I guess gotta go pizza.
Especially if it's just a snack.
Yeah.
Like having just a couple, versus pizza. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Pizza's more of a meal to me.
No, yeah. And 65% picked pizza over 35% chicken tenders.
I'm
Little
not surprised.
This or that. Yeah.
I'm not surprised. 'Cause I don't think people are looking at, just to sit down and have pizza versus chicken tenders.
Yep. But it is that time. We appreciate you hanging out with us. And speaking of hanging out with us, hang out with us at April 13th at Tanger Outlets. Unlimited wine, food, craft beer, and spirits. This is our tastings event. It's going on at the Tanger Outlets April 13th. That's a Saturday, so you can recover on Sunday.
Yeah,
Enjoy yourself.
Yeah, put it on your calendar now. We're
Yes.
telling you in advance so that you can not only buy tickets in advance, but you can mark it on your calendar and be ready for it. So we got a couple weeks away yet. So yeah, come on out. You can grab yourself some unlimited wine, craft, and spirits are going to be there as well, like from the tasting room. Or let's see what else we got.
I know
food and
Knox-
juice from Hurricane's Grill.
Yeah, Knox and Dunn, Florida Rum. Mulligan's is making their famous Bloody Mary, if you like a bloody.
Hello.
Mom Water is great stuff, too, in restaurants like The Cooper. We have Talkin' Tacos at Yard House, Nothing But Cakes, Buffalo Wild Wings, and so much more. That is pbtastings.com. Jimmy, thank you so much for doing this with me. The past 4 days, it has been a blast. We miss G-Man, but you make it easy.
Well, I tell you what, you have done such a fantastic job of sitting in the lead chair, and I couldn't be more proud of you. Thank you so much for having me and having a great time.
Yes.
And thank you for listening
Yeah, of course. And thank you, as Jimmy said. We so appreciate you tuning in. And make sure you keep on tuning in because if you miss G-Man, you'll hear a little bit of him coming up with a Penthouse replay. And then, of course, we have the News Junkie, Rover's Morning Glory to kick off your morning and then back at it with the Penthouse on Real Radio 92.1. We will talk to you tomorrow, same time, same place. Adios.
Adios.